Let's get some music playing. I'm gonna play music inside here, Soren. So if you want to reduce the volume, if you know where it's at the top right under the music controls as I start playing
Yeah.
this.
All right.
All right. So now to everyone here, as the dust settles, but parts of the town have fallen into this about roughly 30 to 35, 40-foot cavern system under the town of Lenga. All of you find yourselves at the edge of town. And as I mentioned, it is a various mix of non-pleasant emotions that's been occurring from everyone. But you can breathe softly now. As what looked like the lead skeleton, the one that actually went after the mayor of this town, who you remember said he's not going to help evacuate the town because he doesn't want to cause a panic. But when I believe it was Vanya as well as Atlas went to engage that leader as skeleton, in the middle of that fight, the giant boar worm that is the cause of all this actually burst from the ground and engulfed that skeleton. And then went back on the ground, and you all watch as it's currently burrowing back to the south, towards a bit to the southeast. You can watch that little mound as it just travels more to the south. Whatever caused the worm to come here, who knows? Why it's going back where it is, who knows? But from what you can see right now, the worm is burrowing away. And now, what would y'all like to do? What's y'all reactions as you've all just emerged victorious from defeating a small horde of skeletons?
Um, I suppose Soren's immediate reaction is to align him with what he would or align himself with what he would assume is going to be the search and rescue party and or the I'm going to help everybody party, and that is the main group who just finished fighting with the undead skeletons. For the group's sake, he was probably a bit of ways away, like in the fight, because he's probably helping people, because he prefers that over fighting. Uh, However, upon the final skeleton being felled, thanks to this worm, Soren sort of, you guys all see is this like 14-ish year old human rushes over to meet everyone in the group as he stands there and then takes a knee as he says, Greetings, my name is Soren, I'm a squire, and I wish to join your efforts to stop whatever caused all of this.
I run and take cover.
So, real quick, Dosta, explain what you look like, and then explain your action.
I'm a 400-year-old earth elementalist, and I have a fear of teenagers.
Understandable. That is an understandable fear.
Real quick, Soren, would you mind making him a couple years older?
Well, I sort of made the character mine with them being a young teenager. Is that an issue?
I prefer at least 16.
Okay, I can do 16. Yeah,
Okay.
alright.
Alright, so how dear, you just watched as, well, Doncic just booked off into the edge of town away from this new individual. What's your reaction, Haldir?
So, I probably wouldn't pay too much mind to it because I would be like, his immediate response would be to help people that are hurt. And like seeing him just like run up and do all that, he would just be kind of, I don't know, he'd just be kind of confused that some kid just like ran up and just like devoted himself to us, I guess. Like That makes sense.
Well, how do you reply to what he said then? Or just ignore him and go on to your way?
I think it would be like more like I just like kind of like look over at like Gruesome and then like go look the other way and then like taunts the disappearing, being like what's going on right now?
There's a lot of things going on right now.
Yeah. He's just kind of confused.
Brewsome, how's your reaction?
I suppose I tell you what, if you want to follow me, we'll go and help the townspeople however we can. I'm sure there's plenty of people that will need help, maybe taking out pits or something.
Yeah. There is a hasty nod from Soren as he stands up from his sort of like kneel, sword sheathed on his hip, as yeah, he follows you guys to help you in whatever way he can.
All right, real quick, with this new individual coming in, I want everyone, Dust already kind of mentioned it, but everyone else explain to Soren who you are, what Soren sees, and then Soren explain to them a little more if you want to about your character. But Haldir and Brewsome, you two introduce yourselves real quick.
So Haldir is a Haga elf, so he's very pale with long white hair. He's got a bow and just leather armor.
I thought you were human for some reason. All right.
And Brewsome is a frost dwarf with a glorious beard. Yeah, not much more to say. He was a blacksmith and then left his town.
And then Soren, anything else from you, or are you already good with your introduction?
Well, yeah, no, essentially, he isn't fully like armored out that you'd see like a knight in, with only real like chainmail as his armor. I believe it's the armor that I got correctly. Just to check. Yeah, a chain hauberk. So you guys, he's wearing really just chainmail with a like overcoat on, so some like an extra layer of clothing over the chain, with like only a short sword on his like side, and that's it. He is kind of small for his age, around 5'8", 5'9", a little bit small for his age, but otherwise, you know, probably just because hey, malnourished, or like I don't fucking know.
No, Malnourished would fit perfectly with this, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he that's really all there is to it, as he would immediately follow after all of you to help.
All right, now for a quick gauge of reference, I know I asked you, Soren, but give me a quick, your experience with 5e, correct?
Yes.
But you never played Savage Worlds?
No.
Okay, so I'll explain this as we go on. All right, so this is going to be a vastly different system from 5e. Now, as Haldir goes to help out some people, Dasa is off in the distance, and Brewsome, what do you want to do exactly, Brewsome?
I suppose I start investigating the pits, see if there's anybody stuck in them that's still alive.
As you look around, you again notice as there have been about a dozen sinkholes that had opened up underneath the town of Lenga, and there are various buildings that have been teetering on the edge, some that have fallen in fully. Unfortunately, you watched as some of them did have inhabitants inside when they fell about 30 feet, being crushed. And there's still some that are about halfway inside. They're teetering at the brink, and they could fall in, they could get pushed back, but all of you now are witnessing the efforts of the survivors to rescue. This is a small community, so everyone here has a desire to kind of save one another, because everyone's kind of a friend. When you have this kind of community in the north of Rassilon, when you have pretty much enemy all about, your friends are everyone that's around you. Everyone's going to be your family, essentially. And so you don't really watch as anyone flees in panic. Maybe initially, yes. But once it seems that the undead have stopped, as well as the sinkholes stopped opening, the ones that did rush away to safety are now coming back, and all of you're witnessing as essentially efforts to rescue trapped individuals is now occurring. And they are too busy to give you any note of thanks. You might get the occasional glance, or maybe someone will come by and grasp your hand real quickly and just give a nod, maybe murmur a bit of thanks, but there is more dire need of activity in the town right now, as it is pretty bad.
Are there any wounded, DM?
There are wounded everywhere, yes. From the skeletons that attacked, as well as the ones that did escape from the sinkholes, or the ones that maybe fell in and came back out, there is wounded everywhere.
Well, now is a better time than any to learn how this works. I would. So whoever looks to be the most wounded, like whether like the more like at death's door kind of people, uh, you'd see as he rushes over, inciting a prayer as he sort of like presses a hand to try and sort of stabilize these people. Uh, as I'm going to attempt to cast a spell. If I may.
You may indeed. And you can go to the nearest person who has been cut through from the shoulder down to the navel, a gash from the claws of one of the skeletons.
Uh, I'm going to attempt to cast healing.
Go for it.
Cool. How do I do that?
All right, so there's a few ways to do this. If you go to character sheet, go to the power section, you'll see the actual spell or power for healing. You click on the icon for it, and it should make a card in chat.
Like this? This.
There you go. Okay, so
There.
you now see in chat, you'll see the healing power, as well as a few illumination and multi-action sections. Now, in this game, every single time you try to do a activity, an action, a spell, a skill, you're going to roll the allocated skill die, as well as what's known as a wild die. The wild die is essentially a special dice that is for a hero, for someone special. Could be evil characters also, as all of you are special. These are never added together. You take the one that is higher and you use that. Now, the biggest mechanic of this game compared to 5e is the dice explode. They ace. If you roll the max value, you roll it again, add it together. Now, when it comes to spells, when it comes to skills, the difficulty number is always the number 4. That's a DC. There could be modifiers, and casting spells always have modifiers, although we'll negate it here, so when you roll it, just ignore the penalties, since we're not in combat. But as you come forward to this individual who's bleeding out right now, go ahead and click roll in that card in chat there, Soren.
Okay. And I do have a question. I don't invoke whatever that the whole like pestilence. What was the term that you used?
Discipling?
Yeah.
No, you do not trigger discipling at all. Divine do not do that.
Okay. Roll it. Pretty decent.
It is pretty decent. It is the number 4, so the actual spell done in combat is at -2. That's just the actual the difficulty of casting it quickly. Now, outside of combat, you can channel your energy, you can channel your magic or divine power to negate penalties. Right now, you can negate up to -2, so essentially this is a base roll. It's a 4. Again, target number is 4. So as you are kneeling down to this individual who's bleeding out, looking at you, you enact the power from your god, and you watch as the wounds on his body start to knit close, leaving just a scar behind, and he instantly just kind of falls into a unconsciousness from just being relaxed, from now the pain going away. And so you can watch how the other players roll. We'll go with Haldir. You said you're looking for people to help out also, correct?
Yeah, so my plan was gonna be I was gonna like run over to that herbalist, his house, if it was still there, and like kind of try and set up like a triage. So I have like whatever she didn't like if she didn't get any like all her stuff away, so I could have as much as possible to help with remedies and stuff.
One second to pull up my notebook. But you most definitely do that. In fact, let's see if she survived this battle or not. Roll me a d20. 15 or more, she died in the battle. All right. As you actually arrive, because it's the most logical place to go. As you arrive at the herbalist hut, unfortunately, you see that the front door. Luckily, her home didn't fall in a sinkhole, but the front door of her home has been broken down, and you can see laying inside the building, her unmoving feet on her back, and about 3 skeletons around her that are also legless but still moving. And you can hear the squelch as they are actually still hitting the body with their arms.
So I would think that I would pull out like my dagger and try and like kill the undead with my dagger.
Go for it. Go ahead and give me a dagger card. I'm doing this just so I can get Soren an idea what's going on. So on this card, because the thing is prone, it is vulnerable, so give yourself +2 and then roll. Also uncheck the all thumbs hindrance.
Yeah.
Right. So that is a hit, not a raise, so it's not a critical hit. And go ahead and roll damage. Toughness of 6. That's a 4. Okay, 6.
Yeah.
So it's already hurt. So you go there and you just quickly dispatch the skeleton. And other 3, only that one still had a little bit of the necromantic energy left within it. And you do see that unfortunately the herbalist has perished from her wounds. Protecting her shop, a lot of the contents, because of the earthquake, have fallen to the ground. There are shattered vials and broken glassware strewn about, but you can see there are some still salvageable materials inside the hut.
Yeah, so like I would like try and like salvage what's left of the door to try and make kind of like a I don't know, like a stretcher kind of deal. Like, so if anybody comes up and they're wounded, I could prop them up and try and treat their wounds and all that as we go.
How do you get people's attention that you're doing this?
I mean, I would probably like when I'm out there setting up, if I see anybody, just start grabbing people and walking them over. And
Okay.
Then, like,
Very soon, that does get the attention of the other people, and you'll very, very quickly find more than a handful of people that are arriving at the herbalist hut to essentially have a place of triage and a place to take shelter. Fantastic. Donsta, you hit away from this teenager that ran up. What are you doing? Where'd you run off to?
Just after, I just ran, I guess, to a nearby building or whatever. But I guess I just went to go retrieve my spear that I last threw the skeleton.
All right, that actually will be the spear that is next to the mayor, as that was the one that was going after him. And he'll be there with his servant, and he looks at you, and he just starts kind of mumbling. I didn't know. I didn't think this would have... How could I have known the town would have been like this? And you see that he's just in a bit of a panic-stricken shock right now.
All I can do is just shake my head and grab my spear and just walk away, because I don't want to deal with the mayor at this moment. He's just too much of a problem.
Got it.
Is there anybody else that is in need or needs help or anything that needs to be done around here?
You start to hear, help, 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 as one of the homes is starting to, as I mentioned, teetering on the edge of one of the sinkholes, starting to fall inside. You watch as about 6 or 7 townsfolk come in and go, Get it back! Bring the home back! Don't let it fall! No more destruction of the town! And they're trying to literally brute force pull the home from falling into the sinkhole. It's halfway inside. How do you want to help out if so?
I think I've done this before, but could I use elemental manipulation to stabilize the ground a little bit?
Absolutely. Go ahead and activate your card for your elementalism. Or for that spell, specifically, if you want to.
Do I have any penalties?
You can channel. So
How do I
actually,
channel?
well, you can't really channel because it's just very, very quickly done. So we're gonna go with the penalty. It's a base roll. Go ahead and roll.
Um,
All right. So you might have saw there, Soren. As if you look at it, does it show you in the chat? Does it show the cards that show the skill die and the wild die both being rolled on the card itself, or just results?
It does.
Okay.
Well, I see the skill dice, and then I see 2 different dice, which are the wild dice.
Okay, yeah. So the skill die actually was a 5, but the wild die was a 6, and then it rolled again because of it being a 6 for a 4 for a total of 10. You see the auto modifier because his spell innately is -1 difficulty to cast, so a total of 9. And you might see the results. You see it has 2 check marks. So in this game, a critical hit, known as a raise, on a skill in combat, not on damage, but on hit rolls and skills, a raise for critical hit is 4 points above the target number. So if the typical skill target number is 4, 8 is a raise. And that essentially is, it does it beyond expectation, does faster, more damage, whatnot. So in this case, you succeeded, Donsta. So as the home's fallen in, you come forth, you enact your power, and you cause, well, you tell me how you saved the house. You tell me.
I guess I walk around the house. I know they're yelling at somebody, but I just run over to the house and I just kind of lift out my hands and just, I guess, stabilize the ground to make sure it's solid, so it doesn't fall.
So you stabilize the edge of the ground, and it does stop, and it'll take a little bit more people to pull it back, but you're able to prevent it from falling to the ground. Fantastic. Gruesome. What were you looking to find, to do, to see, to rescue, to help, to kill?
I was going to see if there's anybody actually in the tunnels and the pits that need pulling out.
So you look in the tunnels. Now the tunnels themselves, there's still some lingering that are about. Excuse me. There have been some individuals that have fallen in. Some have perished. Some are calling themselves out. But the tunnels, all of you closed behind you. All of you here. Oh, woof. And then the ground kind of, I don't want to say explodes, too big of a word, but the ground actually cracks and breaks. About a 5-foot section. And whatever barrier that was blocking the skeletons has just broken. And some of the people that's around this that was kind of picking themselves up, they see the ground start to break, and very quickly, again, panic rises as people go, "Oh, they're coming back! They're coming back!" And they start to run away, causing an immediate panic wave of people around this rushing away. Some immediately going to now grabbing weapons that have either been found or even improvised weapons of table legs or just anything that could be used as a club. But there's been more than these people today can really deal with. It's more of a fleeing retreat than a standing guard as people burst away from this commotion. The area where all of you closed in the skeletons is starting to open back up. What do y'all do?
Oh, I suppose before we continue, this is likely an important thing to ask. What sort of economy did casting that spell cost me in terms of like action points and how that works? So,
Casting magic is something that any caster can do. That's not actually what I want to see. It doesn't drain them in the sense that you can only do it a certain number of times a day. There's no mana points, there's no spell slots. You can cast a spell as much as you want. in this world. Now, there are two drawbacks. To the arcane users that have the siphoning, if they roll a 1 on the skill die, this represents the phenomenon known as a siphoning, where essentially magic is being drained in the world for whatever reason. And this will affect most spellcasters. Now, for the divine, calling upon the god that you follow is also not without, well, if you do it too much, you can earn the ire of your god. So in the same effect, if you roll a natural 1 on the skill die, you essentially, maybe not threaten your god, but you kind of annoy your god. Nothing as severe as a siphoning at all, but you will become a bit shaken as you're going to get essentially a sense of displeasure of, stop relying on me on power so much. Do it yourself if you can. So if you do a 1 on the skill die, you trigger that sense of a backlash on yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I'd assume there'd be some exceptions to that, though. Like, if I was trying to heal this entire town, for the god of life in particular, I feel like they'd be less mad with me using their power and overusing their power for that sort of sense. Am I wrong in that assumption? Or?
You're not wrong in the assumption, but the mechanic is still going to be there, so it can relate to other aspects of maybe your god senses that you are healing the wrong individual, perhaps.
Okay.
So mechanically, it's still going to be the same thing. You just got to find a reason how it fits.
Understandable. So we all see this, like people running.
I would say all of you are within the general vicinity of this event, so I would say yes, all of you. Bruce and Haldir, Donsta, Atlas, whenever she shows up, will all see this event as you just hear people running away, yelling in panic as the ground's opening back up and people are yelling, "It's not over! It's not over!" as people are booking it away from this.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sorry, if there is no one else for me to like heal in the immediate vicinity, literally within like hands reach, then I'm going to pull out my short sword and charge to stand next to my allies and sort of hold the line, unless my allies are running, in which case, damn.
I suppose, well, first thing, can we see anything actively coming out of it, or is it just opening up?
It's opening up right now. You can see the ground breaking apart. There's some tufts of grass kind of being fleeing outwards, like something's trying to crawl through.
Okay, so safe to assume there is something. I suppose I pull out my battle axe and yell to Donster to ask if he can do anything for the ground.
Is this the hole that I closed up, or was it one of the other ones that was like just stuff was thrown in?
It was the other one that stuff was thrown in.
Okay, that makes it more difficult. I mean, I guess I'll see if I can take some of the earth around and kind of, I guess, cover up or seal up what was being, I guess, broken up.
Okay, don't roll anything yet, Donsta. Haldir, from your little triage post, you also witnessed this. And I'll say, just for expediency and it being easy, this opening is happening in front of the hut, not like next door to it, but in front in general, direction-wise. What do you do, Haldir?
Yeah, I'm just seeing that. I'll probably like try and get some people all the people I'm helping to take cover and like get behind buildings or like out of the view, and then just pull out my bow and knock an arrow and get ready.
All right. So all of you get to the ready. As this is occurring, people have panicked, run away, and the group of you are now standing up front and center, essentially, ready to burst into action. Dosta gets ready to start manipulating the earth to seal it again, when you watch as a gauntlet hand, not undead, bursts out of the ground. And then you watch as a figure in chainmail, some plate actually pulls himself out of the ground, and you realize it's a dwarf. A not undead dwarf, but an actual armored dwarf. And then he looks up, he reaches down very quickly, squinting his eyes, all completely black. Because remember, all dwarves have pure black eyes No white, nothing. It's pure black. Reaches down, grabs another armored fist, pulls it up. He goes, "Ah, we hit the surface! Blasted, that's where they came. And ended, and there's a town here. Ah, our rook's already done, it looks like." And you watch as this 3'5", rather round dwarf wearing chainmail, plated gloves, and got a pickaxe on his side. His helmet is actually not a battle helm, but it is something that covers the entire top of the head, the side ears, but has a small section for a candle to sit on the front of it that is currently actually burning right now. Although, as he's exited the tunnel, the wind comes by and blows out the candle. You see it kind of just without. And he pulls out some other companions, other dwarves, similar garb, not wearing actual traditional weapons. You do see daggers on their side, but they'll have pickaxes and some have shovels. And all of you watch as about 10 of them do come out of the ground.
There's a confused look as they hold their sword, waiting for his party to do something.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm just about to do a spell.
I immediately lower my battle axe and basically say hi.
Welcome, brethren.
Hey guys, you want some tea? Sit down for a chat?
Oh yeah.
While everyone else dies around us.
Real quick, I want everyone to go ahead and give me common knowledge rolls, please.
Okay.
This represents some information about these dwarves.
Yeah, seeing my party less scared of these. Let me just pull that. Seeing my party less scared of these, I'd probably start running back and away from this thing to heal people. To go back to healing people. So.
This is hilarious, isn't it? Everybody passed but the dwarf.
Hilarious.
Actually, Bruce would auto succeeded on this because you would know automatically. So, what you're seeing, and here's the most noticeable or the most relevant information: the beards on the dwarves. Some of them are white, as the natural hair color of dwarves are, but they're typically dyed different colors. And Bruce would definitely know this. Some of you might not know this information, but all dwarven hair is white. But they do dye it in different colors to be, I guess, a little more stand outish from each other. But the most significant part is that their beards are braided, and the number of braids determine their station and rank within dwarven society. And what you notice, Bruce, and the rest of you that might know this information, a majority of the 10 dwarves that came out, 8 of them have 2 braids. The other 2 have 3 braids. What this represents is that a dwarf with 1 braid and short is considered a civilian within dwarven society. A dwarf that has 2 braids, that's a little bit longer, considered a craftsman. It's what Bruce would have been. A dwarf with 3 braids, that's even longer, would be considered a warrior in dwarven society. That's his job, his station. 4 braids represents a individual that has the divine or the arcane arts, a rune mage. Bruce would also be this, since he is a rune mage. He could go between 4 or 2 braids. And then the longest beards with 5 braids are the nobles of the dwarf society. Now, if a dwarf does display the wrong number of braids, that's higher than his station, and it's found out, he can be severely punished in dwarf society. So obviously, if you're outside dwarf society, kind of go what you want to do. But if you lie to dwarves, what you are station-wise, you might need to do just deception, what not be. But it is very, very, very much frowned upon and insulting, and pretty much going to be severely punished by other dwarves on that manner. So that's how you can distinguish how a dwarf is in dwarf society. You're seeing 8 of them have 2 braids, the crafters, and the other 2 have 3 braids, they're warriors. And the individual that came out is actually a 2-braided dwarf, and he looks at you, Bruce. Another clansfolk around here. Sorry for all these damn skeletons. We've been falling for a couple days now. Somehow they woke up in one of our grave sites.
You don't say. This wasn't perhaps one to the north, was it? It was to the north. We went,
To the north? There's nothing to the north. No, this is from the south. This comes from Cardenarag, which is the only dwarven hold, current actual occupied dwarven hold in the Borderlands.
Oh. I suppose. Is everything alright over there? Have you some kind of invasion?
Invasion, no. Besides the three factions trying to kill each other over the fungus that's in Cardenarag, we would have mined for some material when we stumbled upon a old burial site. Dwarven, I guess one of the older noble families that wanted to stay hidden. All of a sudden, they came to damn life, and then ventured outwards, following some path. We decided to follow, try to put an end to them. And, well, we found them bust up into a hole, which now leads to where I'm standing. And I assume, as he looks around, that all of you folk are the handiwork of the destroyed ones beneath our feet.
I am too busy going around in this area where this conversation is taking place and healing anyone that I see is injured or wounded.
That is fine.
Yes, I suppose we are. There was a. It was a purple worm, wasn't it? Yeah. There was a purple worm beneath us that had dug out a significant amount of the land.
Well, they do inhabit the mines near our little city of ours. Not sure why it came down here. It's actually very unusual coming down this damn far. But they are scared of the undead by all means. Or if they're driven from its home by these undead we've been following.
Does this mean that it will be able to return to its home?
I expect so. They like the colder climate. Right here is a little too warm for their taste, and even mine if I'm a bit honest.
Yes, it is a tad warm today.
What's your name, fella? My name is Trotter Brightpick.
And mine is Bruce Shatterhorn.
Shatterhorn? Are you a horn maker?
No.
This goes to surnames of dwarves. Dwarves always use a surname of type of a kind of profession they do. So being Brightpick, his clan, family, are essentially people that do picks. So if you're a Shatterhorn, think of how that would fit into your clan name and why it's called Shatterhorn.
It's always relative to what you make or what your profession revolves around, yes?
Yeah, it's essentially their job.
Okay.
So a Shadowhorn could be literally soldiers, I could see that, or they could be hornmakers, either for battle horns or drinking horns. I think all would be feasible.
Yeah. I am part of a horn making guild, or was at one point. I used to make the tools to actually create the horns, carve them.
Fantastic. A little more than the standard wooden tank or clay. They tend to break too easy.
No.
There's like a pipe up from Soren as you guys are having this discussion. He says, "Well, making acquaintances is wonderful. People are bleeding out over here." He shouts like as you guys are like having this like friendly just talk in the midst of all of this.
He looks inside. Shite. That is the case. This worm did cause a bit of a tumble in their town, did it? It didn't help matters that there are dozens and dozens of skeletons of our damn clansfolk up top. Just when I'd think things would get even worse. All right, boys, we're here. Might as well try to help out the town as best we can. And with that, you watch, excuse me, as the other dwarves of this party now kind of seeing that their brethren, well, that's what their former brethren, help to essentially kill inhabitants of this town. They actually start to go about and do what they can to help out the townsfolk. That goes between repairing some of the buildings to helping civilians to help healing. Although there's no casters right now, these 10 dwarves start to go out and take care of matters and help out the town in a sense of honor, since it was their undead skeletons that actually, well, waylaid the town.
Yeah. All right. I am essentially just casting healing, as like, or trying to channel my healing energy as much as I can. If you need me to roll that,
No, that's fine.
can. Okay.
I'll say in this manner, your god is letting this go on because you're following your god's tenets of helping people in time of need, which you're definitely doing right now. So for all intents and purposes, the dwarves here, the 10 of them, they go and help to stabilize this town as best they can. And it's also at this point here where, in a sense of duty and honor, Vanya will also mention that she wants to stay here and help rebuild this town for the fact that, well, she's here, and it's her duty in life to help out folk, individuals, as a Hearth Knight. And so she does mention to all of you that she is going to stay behind here and help to rebuild this community.
I suppose I'll help out my brethren in any way I can with the repairs and, you know, well, the helping effort. Yeah.
This occurs throughout the night. Luckily, nothing does assail a town and whatnot. Any more fears of this worm attack never occurs. And for all intents and purposes, the night goes long into stabilizing and helping to rebuild parts. Now, the talk is it's going to take months to rebuild this town. On top of that, because the events that have occurred, there has been rumor already cast, already from previous events, but people are starting to question not maybe your motive or your intention, but just the luck that has occurred to the town since your arrival. And as the night progresses, as people are now to calm down in a sense and focus on the future, some attention is drawn upon to you for just the seemingly superstitious bad luck that you've kind of brought forth to the town. And it's met more and more with not hostility at all. They do still are thankful for what you've done, but it is still that sense of, if you weren't here, would any of this have happened? And so you're seeing less and less friendly faces.
This is even after we've saved people.
They're superstitious folk. They thank you,
Uh,
but they want you to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. What about like the people that I like directly have saved? Is there any sort of different relation, like a
You're
slight
still an
or
outsider.
perception?
The exact same thing. For all they think, you're on the same group as them.
Yeah, well, understandable.
Ling is a town that is the middle of nowhere, and so it don't get people coming by for no reason or for trade. You all arrived here because of the ritual and for you, Soren, for other means, but people that come here to sell stuff from the town itself, you're not traders, you're not merchants. And so, as I mentioned, you're met with thanks, but also, y'all get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Sora like looks to like, do they expressly say y'all gotta get the fuck out of here, or do
No.
they just have this?
No, but
sort
you can
of
definitely
feeling
get that
of, like-
sense.
Okay. He like looks at the party as they're like finishing up the day of helping everyone. Just says, "Are you all getting the same sort of feeling that I am?" He says like as he looks at them.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we still going to go out and kill this worm, or are we going to go off and do something else?
Well, we can't just leave it to hurt more people.
I see no reason to attack it. It's returning to its home.
I do have a question in regards to the sins of my god, DM. In particular, it specifies killing a creature is bad in this sin. Would killing something like this great worm specify, or does it mean like sentient creatures like humans?
I would say sentient creatures, something that could feel, something that's thinking. Which I was gonna bring up. I was gonna bring up this game, but your god is very, very opposed to the death of anything, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, with when dealing with sentient creatures, my plan is to try and be like, hey, can you stop being bad? But uh, for things like this, where it's wild beasts that are killing people, no, you gotta take the lesser of two evils.
I mean, it's just returning to its home now, far away from civilization.
Well, it might return.
At least we hope.
Yeah, we can't be certain.
I'm just saying, I don't see a reason to go after it now. The undead have the undead chased it out of its home, have been slain, at least for the most part,
Well,
and it's decided to head back.
are the dwarves still here? The 10 dwarves?
So during the course of the night, they do mention, at least Trotter, Brightpick, the one that's kind of the lead of this little troop, does say, for the sense of honor, he will stay behind until this town is not back to what it was before. It's going to take too long for that, but they'll stay here to help rebuild the town to where it's functional and self-sustaining again.
Soren will sort of ask them something along the lines of, so you said you get a lot of those purple worms where your people live, correct?
To the south, yes.
That and just out of character, DM, that is the direction that the worm was heading.
Yes, so if you look at the map, the Silvercat Mountains, so Karad and Rog is here. That's the Dwarven settlement. And the Silvercat Mountains is actually where these worms live. They like the high elevation. They like the cold.
He is simply just going to ask, so what do you think the odds are of that worm returning here?
Well, as you witness right now, it's already traveling to the southeast S direction.
Yeah. He's more so asking like, because he'd know that like some creatures have a preferred hunting ground, or like something of that nature. He doesn't know if these things like to establish a hunting ground, like for instance, this. Sorry, I didn't know you do that.
Well, let's see
like,
sort of if you might have encountered these before or know about their eating habits. Go ahead and roll me at -2, common knowledge roll.
Okay. An 8 and a 7.
Not quite. 15. You got 8 and a 7. So what you have probably, maybe from the probably from the Knights Ron, through study, you do know that these burrow worms are carnivorous. They do love meat, but they typically go after easy prey, which tend to be animals that are up in the higher peaks. They can go after humanoids, but they tend to be a little more trouble than they want, and so they usually go after wildlife.
Okay. So I can safely assume that this thing is probably not going to return here, unless
Probably
something's,
not.
like making it outside of what it would normally naturally do.
From what Trotter said, is they dislike the necromantic energy of undead, so it's probably driven away from the silver caps by the undead following it. Because you don't know this, but the rest of the players know that there are undead in the tunnel that were essentially following, driving the worm further to the south or to the north.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, then, sort of putting these two together, and the sort of like habits of a worm with dear God that role, he returns. He thanks the man first off for their time, and thanks them for helping out this town. and in his stead, he returns to see the group. Smiling says, "I hope perhaps if I can join you all, I might be able to help more people."
I think Boosum kind of turns to the rest of the group and say, "Well, we do need a healer."
Yeah.
He nods and gives a sort of bow, like less of like a kneel like he did before, but more of just like a standing bow, as he sort of displays his symbol of the Knights Ron, and comments on what he is. "I am a member of the Knights Ron, or I was a squire. My master sadly, he passed away in this previous bout. That being said, I also worship the god," as I look at what the name of the god was. Holy shit.
Era.
Era, correct. Thank you. I also worship the god Era, and I hope to bring aid to those who are less fortunate. I don't know much about the magics I can do, but I do know that sometimes magic can come from me in times of desperate need for the people that surround me. And then he is going to nod to his group and say, "It'd be my pleasure to help you all, in whatever you need. It's not like I really have anywhere else to go." He's just like an awkward sigh.
Welcome aboard.
This where you guys like knight me? No, I'm kidding. Sort of. Did I say? Have I said my name yet? Have I introduced my name?
I don't think
Did
anyone. I don't think anyone said like each other's name so far. But before we do that, we do have the other party member has joined us. So how much did you hear, Mochi?
I heard, oh gosh, my memory. Most of that. Wow, that doesn't help. Okay, good job.
Were you there for the
My,
dwarves?
my brain is fried right now. I'm sorry. Um, to the point of you guys talking about what to do about the worm. That's when I joined.
Okay, well, dwarves have come out of the ground that were following it. We had a discussion about dwarven beard braiding and what that means to their society.
And I told everybody that they're stupid because people are actively bleeding out while they have the discussion.
Look, man, I have to talk to my brethren.
Get a pint after. Jeez.
But yeah, we've just been helping around town with anything that needs to be done.
Okay.
All right. So real quick, since Atlas have been around, how about you two describe what you look like to each other real quick?
Okay. Geez, on the spot. Where is? I'm trying to like find
That's what D&D
his
is all
thing while I stutter.
Well, Corn, how would you tell Atlas what you are? What you look like?
about. Who? Me?
You.
Oh, sorry. I heard like corn and I was like,
I might have said the wrong name. I'm still when I narrate, I don't walk around. I don't sit from my computer. I walk around my house. So
Yep.
until I learn your name correctly, because I just said Corin, which I don't think is right, Soren. So Soren, go ahead and say what you are real quick.
Corn, potato. You would see a 16-year-old squire wearing a symbol of the Knights Ron. He has quite simplistic gear, describing his rank, because he doesn't have any rich, expensive sort of plate armor or giant long sword in hand. All he merely has is a small short sword, as well as I'm assuming also he might have a holy symbol, correct?
Yeah, you
for
would.
purpose of casting
I did. I just
spells.
did the super basic stuff real quick, or the most
Yeah.
important relevant stuff.
Yeah, and then also some chainmail, or chainmail hauberk specifically, that you only see the hems of, because he has clothes like an overcoat, and yeah, he looks small for his age, likely because of malnutrition and damn medieval time. Uh, so that's really what you see. He's nothing too much. He doesn't look like much.
Okay.
He also looks exhausted from channeling healing energy for like the last 12 hours.
Okay.
Sorry, go on now. Ask this later.
So, when you Atlas, when you look at him, he seems very like stoic. He's pretty tall actually, and you can tell that he's quite mature, so you can assume that he's pretty old. Um, he is he's a taiga elf. So he has rather pale and almost a bluish tone to his skin. He's got very long white hair, and the thing that makes him stand out is that his clothing style almost looks royal, but you can't quite assume anything. But that is a he does appear to have very at least expensive clothing.
Yeah. Uh, Soren, you're not a female, so he wouldn't do like a curtsy. He extends a hand, to shake. A quite informal gesture based on your clothing, but also, hey, we're in the middle of like basically a battlefield. Uh, as he smiles and says, "It is a pleasure to meet you and make your acquaintance."
Atlas kind of like looks at his hand and then looks back up at his face and then extends um to shake your hand and gives a simple nod. It is a pleasure as well. I am Atlas. I'm not sure if I've introduced myself.
Oh, and oh God, I haven't introduced myself either. He says, like in the realization of like, holy shit. As he looks at everyone and says, apologies, deeply. My name is Soren. My last name I don't quite know. I was born an orphan and didn't really have a surname. Well, I guess I wasn't born an orphan, but I didn't know. I never knew who my parents were. Only the Knights Run. Yeah.
Everybody else just completely banks him about it.
Yeah, everybody else is just blankly like staring at each other like, wait a minute, we haven't said our names either.
Well, my name's Brusen, as I'm sure you overheard with the other dwarf. It was some fine healing you did back there.
Oh, thank you. It wasn't me though, it was my god doing all the work. I am simply a vessel. In moments of crisis, anyway.
I'll reach out a hand and Haldir.
Yeah, I'll take it and shake it. Take and shake. Both consecutively. Yeah. By the way, DM, out of character, what session number is this? Like, how many sessions have been ran before this?
This is either 6 or 7.
Okay, so we learn everybody's names on the 7th session. Good to know. We finally make introduction.
Except for Donsta, because he's still hiding behind like a barrel or something.
No, I have my back to you, Soren, and I just introduce myself.
Interesting. So, what do you introduce yourself as? What's your name?
Donsta.
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 Donsta. Okay, Donsta.
If you need the spelling, it's down at the right left-hand corner.
Soren would offer a small smile, which you of course would not see, as he says, "Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Donsta's back." He says as he gives like a slight bow, as you are looking away from him.
I'll give a slight chuckle.
Yeah.
Atlas is kind of starting to give Soren a very curious look.
Well, if there are any questions, I can answer them. It's a pleasure to meet you all. It's a pleasure to join your party, and it's a pleasure to hopefully help people out on our what are we doing again? He says as he like realizes he didn't really know what we're gonna go for.
Well, that's actually a bigger, further question: is what is the plan of action? as mentioned, your welcome in Lenga has kind of been outlived now. So, because all of you are essentially outsiders, and they have even more reason to kind of dislike outsiders for what's been occurring, again, it's superstition that's occurring right now. What's the plan of action as a group as a whole? Because all of you arrived at Lenga in mutual survival from the ritual that was broken for that dryad. But now that you're at civilization, you can theoretically go and move on back to your old life, to your own means, back to Brewstom's lifestyle of being a blacksmith, back to how I'm not sure what how Deer's background was, but all of you can go back to your old life. But do you? I mean, obviously, if you do, you make a new character. But what is kind of everyone's thought process as all of you kind of are sitting
So,
or in town thinking this?
what is the capital of the Knights Ron? Like, what is the sort of their base of operations? If there's like a city,
They have a place, but I can't recall offhand.
I will look through the see if there's like anything.
They have a citadel capital. I just can't remember it's at the moment.
Well, then, for the sake of this, then all that you will be suggested is from Soren anyway will be, but if we may, I need to head back to the insert name of capital here, city, to talk with the Knights Ron and explain the situation that has happened here. They'd likely need to know this. But if we have more pressing matters, I can always just send a bird or send a messenger.
Well, real quick question to you, Soren. The organization of the Knights of Ron is, for all intents and purposes, they are a military mercenary company. They really don't care who they work for. Their organization is about money. They're about wealth. Now, there are going to be obviously people that are in a true S type of nature of their moral compass, but there are also some members of Knights of Ron who will work for the evilest individual if they get paid enough. And the organization as a whole is really only about money.
Isn't the Knights Ron though one of the more honor dedicated
No,
as well as?
no, that's Earth Knights.
Did I misread? I might have
Possibly.
misread.
You might have put the picture in the wrong order. Yeah, the Knights of Ron,
Oh.
they're very, very good commanders. They're very, very good commanders, but they
Hilarious.
are the pure mercenary leaders. What they are.
So I read caring little for honor or chivalry as caring for honor and chivalry. Oh my gosh, that certainly is a mistake.
The way you've been playing a character is really kind of what the other character was. Vanya is a Hearth Knight. That's what she was. They're the typical paladin you think of.
Then I'd probably can I be like, hey guys, whenever I said Hearth Knight or whenever I said Knights Ron, I actually meant Hearth Knight. Hit my head a little bit too hard.
Here's a little thing, and I'm purely spitballing. You're a teenager, a very young teenager.
You could be mistaken.
Yeah, you could have been pressured into joining this organization, but have the beliefs of the other one that I can't remember.
As much as I want to do that, his character concept is mainly around his dedication both to his god as well as the tenets of his sort of group and company. So I feel like that like mess a little bit with that.
So it'll probably just be a straight retcon then.
Yeah, it's just a slight story retcon. I totally just forgot to add like a word in there, but you know it's fine. Whoopsie daisy. He is now a Hearth Knight. Does that change anything that matters, DM?
We're gonna rebuild the character after the session. We'll put it that way.
All right.
A Hearth Knight and a Knight Haran are built very, very differently, character-wise.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah, well, man, I really wish
It's all
I
good.
had to talk about that. But yeah, so
I said, the main thing today was for you to learn the game was the main aspect for you today. So.
Yeah, no longer Knights Ron. Instead, Hearth Knight. Cool. Great.
I do have a question.
I was gonna say that was a weird combination of a pacifist mercenary.
Yeah, I thought the Hearth Knights were or the Knights Ron were like honor chivalry people.
No.
No.
They have in there, but no, the organization is about money. Hearth Knights are about rescuing, saving, killing the evil things from the far, far north. Is what they're about.
Okay, then yeah, I'd be a Hearth Knight.
Okay.
Apologies again.
It's all good.
Yeah. So then, yeah, instead of the Hearth Knight capital, because why would we go there? Or not Hearth Knight capital. Instead of the Knights Huron capital, because why would we go there? He instead mentioned like, the Knights, the Hearth Knights, and going to give them a report on what's happened here.
So that is actually I don't know the name of it, but time to bring up the big map again. The big map.
The big map.
I also
I
have
feel
a
like
question.
this is a situation that the Hearth Knights would likely want to know. Both one of their members dying as well as.
So just
Sorry.
while you're loading up the Rassilon map, the ancient dwarven chainmail. This is to you, GM. That I picked up. Because that's for dwarves and Soren is a small teenager, would that fit him? This is purely for interest rather than anything else.
Be a tight fit. Soren's like five, whereas because which is still small, for his age, but dwarves are like 3 foot tall, man.
Something.
Yeah, Mike, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I have a question whenever we get a chance.
Okay. Now, your question, Bruce. It can be modified. It's not as drastic as. Actually, so it would be kind of drastic. Because it's still the width of it. The height might be more similar to the dwarf, but the width of it is probably be even less so than a normal human. So it's still gonna be the same thing. You have to adjust it repair wise to have it fit someone else besides a dwarf.
Right. So that was purely for interest to see if that would work.
Okay.
All right, real quick. Mike, what do you want to ask?
So, the reliquary for the magic items, do they have just one central area?
So
or do
their
they
agents go about, but this is actually the answer, or it's going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. If you look at the map right now, we are in the far northwest in the Borderlands. So the reliquary citadel, as well as the Hearth Knight keep, is way over here in the Freelance. Hellfrost Keep is actually the main citadel for the Hearth Knights, and the citadel is actually the main location where the reliquary keeps their stores. Now, when it comes to the distance, that is going to be about. Let's see. This is going to be. We're looking at over 1,000 miles.
Okay, so at least 2 weeks travel.
It's going to be a little bit.
Yeah. So, and then the second part to the question is so the
I don't
dwarves
know
were
this
saying they were
area.
having issues in was it Karad Narog? Would there be a person there that's part of the reliquary that we could talk to, or if they have their own little
So the best place to find agents of the reliquary is in places where they would be searching for artifacts or researching artifacts. It could be in cities. It could definitely be libraries. And one of those would most definitely get you access to potential, at least information of where one might have been recently, or if one's been there recently, or where they might be around, or get into the actual citadel itself. Or just asking around and see if you can find someone who might poke around, because the reliquary is going to be asking around. They're going to be looking for information. They're going to be digging around to find clues about whatever they might be hunting. And so they could have just rumors in taverns of someone around that was asking for specific information about artifacts.
But that was the thing about the reliquary is that they will confiscate these artifacts because
That
we're
is
not
true.
supposed to have them.
Also,
That's why I want to stay away from them.
yeah. I know this really doesn't matter, but upon further checking, his height would be given like the medieval like times, as well as him being short for his age. Would actually be closer to around 4'11", instead of like 5'5". So, because I was taking into account that it was modern times and not like medieval.
Well, we're a fantasy. You can be a little tall if you want to, but it's up to you. As it is, as a bird flies from your location to the Citadel, is about 40 days if you just flew. So it's gonna be about probably 2 to 3 month journey getting to that location.
Okay. Given that distance, Soren's gonna like call everyone over and be like, "Well, if we want to travel to that area, we might want to set up a sort of path plan to go through the cities that we can, maybe get some work and potentially make it so that we can survive the distance." He says as he like, "Do we have a map?" Yeah.
Probably. Probably
Then
not.
I just, like,
Honestly, from how you arrived there, honestly, probably not.
But
You
would I
might.
have a- would
From
I-
you
yeah,
going
would
from
I
your
just-
location to them, you probably would most definitely have a map because you're really far away. But I would say no one else does because they were kind of taken at night. But this begs the question: you yourself, Soren, want to head back and information about what happened to your master. But what does everyone else want to do? Because when it comes to realistic sense, you have just arrived and already telling them where to go. So I kind of want to hear what the rest of you kind of want to do. Although that location does bring in a couple of goals.
Yeah, sorry, I just also thought that was the reliquary place, or that those places were very, very close to each other.
So ultimately, right now, we're kind of figuring out is where does this group want to go? Where do you want to travel? What do you want to do? Obviously, this town right now is not really welcoming at the moment, but if you want to do a journey, if you want to do a Lord of the Rings style journey to those lands, we can definitely do that and just deal with what happens on the way, which would be part of the game. But events are going to happen based on what you all do. So if you want to start traveling, start traveling.
Yeah, this 16-year-old is trying to commandeer the group. Does anybody do anything?
Honestly, sorry, you go ahead.
No, Mochi, go right ahead.
Okay. I don't think we have decided on this yet because I still haven't exactly set my backstory. Even though it's really simple, I should be able to write like 5 sentences of it. There's probably going to be a place that Alice is going to avidly want to avoid, which may or may not cause suspicion in the group. Oh well. Yeah, I don't think we have that at all decided at all. So, insert random place that Alice wants to avoid. Other than that, I don't think because we have like the goals thing, right?
Yes.
I haven't exactly told you what Alice's is. I think.
I don't think you have, or if you did, I'm not sure if I wrote it down. Yeah, I don't have anything.
No,
because
you did that when I was late.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys just like say this aloud? Really? Like
Soren is giving his proposition aloud, and pulling out like his.
Or what I meant by that is like, did you guys say the quest stuff aloud, or did you like message them?
They put it in text. It is. They just say in text. If you want it hidden, I can make it hidden.
No, I don't. This one I don't want hidden. I was just wondering like if it was easier, like because I didn't know what you guys went through.
Yeah, it's actually everyone wrote in chat. In fact, you can see this also, and I'm not asking you right now, Soren, because you're still learning the game. But Soren, if you look in the journal section of Foundry, and then scroll to the bottom, at the right where it says quest log, so it's at the very, very bottom right under the journal section. You open up the quest log, you'll see in progress long-term and short-term goals of the group right now. Minus Atlas, since she's one on his.
Journals. I see like the Hellfrost equipment.
So
Oh,
all the way
yeah.
to
At
the
the
bottom.
very,
Very
very
bottom.
bottom.
Quest log. The bottom of the screen.
Quest log. There we go. Jesus, I'm blind. All right. LT. Build a base of operations. Kill a dragon. Learn all 4 elements. Amazing.
SC is short term. All right, sorry. Mochi, what do you say?
Did you want me to tell you right now one of Atlas's just so we can get it in there, or?
Whenever you're ready, Atlas.
Yeah, because I have like one already. I'll just message it because it's easier.
Yeah, go ahead and message me. I'll put it in. Is it a short term or long term goal?
Wait,
This is long term.
Okay.
We failed the rescue for the town folks of Lenga.
Yep. These were the
We
4
sure
that
did.
fell in the mine shaft, and Bruce contributed to one of them by using them as a damn backpack, and then the other 3
right,
got
no, that's- yeah.
I was trying to move him. In my defense, we had no stretchers. We had a lever.
You should have brought a wagon.
And the other 3, well, they got turned into essentially zombies. One survived, but by inaction of the party, he actually bled out and died.
Hilarious.
We didn't have any healers, so you are now the healer.
Okay, well maybe if you'd asked me a week earlier. No, I'm kidding.
Well, like
I'd
I
have been
have
there.
the healing skill, but I triggered the siphoning and lost my powers for 2 days.
Yep.
Damn.
So
Imagine having siphoning. No, I'm kidding. I can give you my goals too, DM, as well.
Go for it.
I probably
So
have.
the reward, you just type it out in chat and give it to me. The reward for a short-term goal is you'll get a point of conviction, which is a D6 add on top of any roll. And reward for a long-term goal is a instant level up. So you can essentially be 1 rank above everyone else, unless they all do their own at the same time.
Well, I suppose as good as any long-term goal would be to make it back to the Hearth Knight capital.
That would be a long-term goal, most definitely.
By the way, I messaged you in Discord. I forgot
okay.
that you focus on this part, not Discord.
And then as for a short-term goal, damn. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. So how do we want to say my master died? Because I'm assuming they had some equipment on them, or like some belongings that I might want to recover.
Looting your master. What a fantastic goal.
Yeah, essentially looting my master. Except not really, because it's not looting. It's more like I want to give them a proper burial,
And take their shit.
but that's besides the point.
regifting.
It's regifting. Like maybe I find like a letter saying that like the belongings that were meant to go to me once I achieve knighthood. But yeah, so that my long-term goal would be make it back to the Hearth Knight capital, and my short-term goal for now is to recover the belongings and the corpse of my now dead master, who I think fell underground.
Looting.
Yeah, we'll probably definitely do that.
Oh, I suppose I should, because of this being a goal, I suppose I should mention this. Would there be any downtime where I can go and check back on the inn that we were staying at? Maybe that like is probably like half destroyed, but it's fine. To see, sort of like search around and account for everything that my master had to bring back, and that's probably when I'd find like the whole, hey, I wanted to give this to you type letter, or like this is like a formal declaration of like what I'm gonna give you upon reaching knighthood.
Well, you could definitely try to look, but the inn is gone.
I see. Well, that in itself is important enough for him to mention, and he looks at the group and says, if we may, I know I've asked a lot of you guys, but potentially could we go and search down in the points to the chasm where the inn once was? He's like, could we go and look down there? My master was unfortunately in there when it collapsed, and I fear that he didn't make it. He says as he just looks down at like the, what, probably 200, 300 foot decline where just like the tavern's completely destroyed at the bottom?
Not that steep. The sinkhole to the bottom is only about maybe 35 to 40 feet.
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah. Then yeah. I mean, it's more of a simplistic. Well, like, hey, can we? You just want to go down there and maybe help me search?
I'll pull out a rope and see if I could tie it to anything to help us get down in there.
I will help you. Is a help action a thing? No, I'm kidding.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Oh, that's not something
shit.
you need here.
Okay.
What's everyone else think?
One thing that I was going to do, I was going to pull out the scroll casing for the ancient map and see if I can read it in any way. And if I can't read it, then I'll probably go ask somebody if there's a cartographer anywhere.
There definitely wouldn't be in this immediate area. Definitely within Karundarag would probably have cartographers since it's a mountain or it's a dwarven stronghold. But you'll have to get to a big town to find out in a small town.
Okay.
But if you want
That
to
will
investigate
definitely
it,
be-
you can definitely try and try to decipher a bit of the map if you want.
Definitely try.
Now, real
Use
quick,
for that.
Doster, is there anything specifically you're trying to look for, maybe, while you're trying to decipher this map?
Well, this is an ancient map. I know we were talking about possibly using it as to find magic items. So that's basically what I was wanting to use it for, is to see if there's another destination that we could find some other magical items for us to procure.
All right. Go ahead and give me... What skill would this be? I'm going to say we're going to use common knowledge or survival. Common knowledge or survival, and we're going to go ahead and do this at a -4. No, you can still kind of see the map. Do this at -2.
-2?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay, I'll use a Benny.
Okay.
That's still a pass.
All right, so what you might be seeing, Soren, is that at the bottom left under the player section, you'll see a bunch of numbers in white dots. Those are bennies. So every character has, at the start of every session, 3 bennies. These are used for rerolls, what you've been seeing, as well as absorbing damage when you do take it in combat, as well as some other stuff you can do with it. So Donsta just used one to do the reroll on that skill check. So, Donsta, when you're able to look at this map, it's very, very hard to look at in the fact that if you look at the full Rassilon map right now, it extends probably about double the length to the north. Where right now the ice wall barrier is currently on the map right now, it doesn't exist on the map you have, and the map, as I mentioned, goes up about twice as much. And you're seeing just in that are the various lines, markings for different... That's what I'm looking for different empires, different markings for cities, for temples and whatnot, and even for the region we're looking at right now is vastly different in the sense that the Glitter Sands doesn't exist. The Great Forest is much, much bigger. The White Sea doesn't exist. It's all still temperate terrain. The Lakeland doesn't exist, as well as most of the Inner Sea and the Narrows is also relatively smaller. And to the eastern part, the Frostwater Lake and White Lake are also much, much smaller.
Just having knowledge of a current map or area, could I kind of deduce if there's like ancient cities or something that's maybe in ruins in those areas?
Maybe we could ask Soren to look at his map, and then we could.
I don't have my map yet. I have to find my master
Oh.
to find his belongings.
The master has the map.
Got it.
Yeah,
Never
so I
mind.
can loot. I mean, not loot. Put to respect full.
Repossess.
Inherit.
Repossess.
I like to use the term inherit.
Potato, potato. Looting
Inherit,
inherit.
possess, loot.
So
Whatever it is, I'm getting some belongings from a dead body.
yes, you are. What's the plan of action, everyone?
Well, I know two of us are
Well-
trying to make our way down to the ravine,
Yeah.
or the sinkhole, and one of us is deciphering a map.
Alice
Well-
and Brissom, what do you two?
Well, Donster's thing of potentially going to Kavad and looking for cartographers kind of ties in with what I want to do. Naturally, as a dwarf, I would want to go and see my people. However, I think first of all we shall go down into this crevice and find the young boy's master.
Young boy. He's not as young as he was gonna be. Dwarf moment. Am I just being 4'11" and still being taller than the dwarf?
Possibly Paul the dwarf. Alice, what about you?
Atlas is kind of looking at everyone, just kind of trying to see just by their expressions exactly what they want to do. Because personally, he does not really want to go back down into that hole, considering what they have gone through. But if majority rules over that they want to go down, he's gonna follow. But he seems pretty uninterested in going back in the hole that they tried so hard to get out of.
Well, it's not that far down. It's only 30, 40 feet. So we could literally stand on the edge and just watch
Atlas-
them.
Atlas is still a coward. He does not want to go back in that hole.
All right. Well, going to where we'll make this easy, as my famous saying goes. Apparently, when you go to where the tavern was, you will see that looking down is a sinkhole, and the tavern is fully down inside, destroyed. It fell in. The entire thing was engulfed. Now the question is, how do you wish to get down, and then we'll deal with how we do an investigation when you get down there. But for all intents and purposes, everything should be around there.
Yeah, I believe that who was it that was tying rope up?
Haldir.
Yeah, Haldir was tying rope up and I was helping him.
Now,
to secure it.
I'm gonna give you a tidbit on lore, Soren, on something that is a bit not really talked upon in other games, so it is introduced here in this game. And that is the etiquette of what you wear. So in the wild, in the wilderness, obviously you're gonna be wearing full armor, weapons like that. But when you hit society, when you hit a community, it is the societal norm, unless there's a war going on that's out front. The societal norm is to go as quick as you can to a tavern or inn, get a room, and disarm. That means putting the weapon away and putting anything that is metallic armor away, because it brings the question: if you're walking around in town with weapons meant for war and killing, why are you walking around in that state? People walk around in town shopping in full-on war armor. So,
well, here's my sort of like thought process on that. Oh, but that wouldn't make sense. You're right.
everyone follows that. Even the Knights Ron would follow this. It is not customary to walk around in weapons meant for war and armor. You're meant to have a dagger. The biggest thing to have is like a dagger. It's meant for eating, used for cutting food. Leather armor is fine. Clothing armor is fine, but metallic armor, chainmail, plate mail, you will get penalties to all social stuff, as well as some hits to glory if you walk around in that type of stuff. Which means all of your master stuff would be in that tavern.
Yeah. I thought you meant like for reference of like, would I have any of my equipment? My thoughts were sort of that like, my equipment, I was out training when this was happening. I was doing some solo training, and then all this went to shit, and my master was chilling in the tavern and died. Which would explain why I had my armor and my weapon. But also, it's a little bit sus. I'll leave it to your discretion, because why would I be training without my master?
As a Hearth Knight, you wouldn't actually try to arouse suspicion in town, so you actually would not do that. Your master probably wouldn't allow you to train with a sword, sure, but armor, no, because that would raise suspicion. And even then,
Yeah.
you would probably practice outside of town.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he's probably like heading outside to like out of the town when everything went to shit.
In fact,
So
they would actually make sense. Your master would have so being a squire, being a training, your master probably would actually have you train in armor because you need to have the weight distribution of being 2 combat in armor. He actually would have had you probably train full armor, full gear outside of town, which everything happens. So you would have your full gear you have right now on your character sheet, but your master, following the ways of Hearth Knights and just etiquette, would have all of his stuff in the tavern that did fall.
yeah, and I'm assuming he was also in the tavern that fell, right?
Unfortunately,
Hopefully.
yes.
Yes. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, know where I'm going. I got a rope. We're gonna go.
All right. Who's all enjoying? Not enjoying. Who's all gonna help with this little adventure?
Hell dear.
Boosum shall join them in the pit.
Atlas, are you begrudgingly gonna help out? Or are you just gonna be up to top and just give moral support?
Atlas will join despite his low interest in it.
All right. As you venture down, let's go ahead and make some rolls to see how well the rope does stay well connected, as well as just the terrain possibly coming loose. So, Haldir, go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Yay, that's gonna be untrained.
Already off to a great start.
So, I want to have all 5 of you, roll me a d20, please. So, Soren, left-hand side, you'll see a little d20 silhouette. Go ahead and click on it. Click on the single d20.
Yep. Chat.
Or do / roll d20, that works also.
Yeah, I'm just. I see trait modifiers, number of trait dice, and damage
Ignore that.
modifiers.
Ignore those. Those are something I use for other rolls. Not right now. This one's for a straight d20. Yeah. Savage rolls are typically use a
Where
d20.
is that?
Left-hand side of the
That
screen.
was a horrible roll.
It is. Left-hand side of the
Wow.
screen is a d20 silhouette button. You click on that, and it'll show up a list of other dice to roll, or you can type in chat /r /1d20. Yeah.
Ooh.
Make it feel-
All right.
Good rolls,
Like-
3 good rolls, 2 bad ones.
Well, can I just say, the last time we rolled a d20, I rolled a 20 and then got possessed.
Yeah, which means
I remember
since
that.
the higher the number, the worse it is.
yes, Dunsta. As you're going
wow.
down, using the rope, because you wouldn't use your earth thing because there's a rope right there, so you decided to go down with the rope for whatever reason. We'll go with that. As you're going down, the rope snaps. Or tell me, Dunsta, if you weren't going down by the rope and using your actual magic power. You tell me.
Yeah, it's scared.
It's still gonna be bad no matter what. Just keep that in mind.
Am I able to cast something?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, you can cast the initial spell to wall walk, or not wall walk, but to burrow.
that's what I was going to do, but I never said that I was going down, so that's why I never said I was going to cast it. But
Did I ask you if you're joining them, or did I not ask you?
No.
Oh, would you want to join them,
But I mean, we
Dunsta?
can use it.
Do you want to say no and put the burden then onto Brewsome, since you rolled a 16?
Do you really want to do
You
that?
have the
to
power. You have the power to fuck over Brewsome. Do you want to, Dunsta?
Do you really
a
want to do this?
16 is
to me?
better than an 18, though. So,
Oh, you could phase through the earth.
but I can't cast a spell right now. If I fall, I can't cast a spell, as I just said.
Oh, well, that's silly.
So, I mean, I'm just kind of screwed.
So you tell me the 2 scenarios. Were you climbing down the rope, or did you use just your burrow to go through the earth into where the tavern is laying on the ground? Which one did you use?
I'll cast Wall Walker.
Okay. So you're one walking down, not really needing the rope. And so it's not going to affect you as much. Which means, Brewsome, when you're going down above Donsta, as Donsta's walking down, your rope breaks, the haldir tied, and you fall down on top of Donsta.
You had somebody to cushion your fall.
Fantastic. This has worked out brilliantly.
That is
And on
actually the
top,
case.
I'm not as
I
heavy.
want both Donsta and Brewsome to roll, but because Donsta became a pillow for Brewsome will at +1. Vigor rolls, please.
You say vigor rolls?
Yes.
Or athletics rolls?
Vigor.
And you said a +1 for me.
Because you used Donsta as a pillow.
Freaking love you.
All you hear is Atlas going, I told you this was a bad idea.
I think this is an amazing idea. I'm
This is
enjoying it
fantastic.
already.
Wow, okay.
Oh
you
my
both landed
God.
in a really good spot, apparently, because none of you got hurt from this.
We rolled the same thing, so it's no big deal.
You landed in like
You
soft,
land.
like
You,
dust.
there was just a cushion there that you happened to land on.
Yeah. So
I
Donsta's
like
walking
imagine
down.
What's this soft and fleshy thing I landed on? Oh, hey.
Well, the reason why I said athletics, because it says on here, wall walker, if I'm forced to make an athletics roll to climb or hang on a surface, I get +4 to my roll.
Yeah.
So that's what I was asking.
You got to the ground, but then Brewsome fell on you.
Okay.
That's what it was.
I like
It
imagine
wasn't
that I'm
anything to do with your
comfortable.
like your initial roll. It was just your what happens after.
Yeah, because I didn't realize you could have just actually broke. You got multiple ways to get down besides everyone else. That's why I had to think about that real quick. As it is, you all find yourselves on the ground, about 40 feet down. Around you is the wreckage of the tavern/inn. It has been thoroughly crushed and ravished. Even down here, you're still seeing some body parts of the skeletons, and the lingering magic is still there as there's some slight movements, but nothing so intact to cause any type of conflict. But in the midst of, let me finish talking. In the midst of the debris and whatnot, you are seeing the mixed collection of body parts and dead people. I mean, it's to be one same thing. It is a fully ruined structure and all what was inside it. All right, now, what do you want to say, Soren?
I was just gonna say, oh, thank God you didn't show us any dead body parts.
Yeah, they are
that's
definitely
kind of
around.
moot. I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say dead body parts. Ooh.
There is dead body parts.
Yeah. All right.
But to clarify, is that what cushioned our fall?
No.
My first priority, unfortunately, is for the living. As before anything, I make sure that you guys are okay. The two that fell, or the one that fell, and the person I got fell on. Like to check you guys for wounds and be like, oh, dude, wait, are you guys okay? To try like also avert myself from the trauma that is all those dead bodies.
Trauma, fantastic. We're going to deal with that in a second. I'm going to do a real quick bio break, and so we're going to do a quick 5-minute pause.
Do a what?
5-minute pause. I'm going to take a quick bio break and give everyone a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Be right back. When you're back, go ahead and hit the I'm ready or I'm back button on your screen.
Okay. What kind of roll is that going to be? No, I'm kidding. So how's everyone going? How long do these sessions usually last, out of curiosity? Not like I have to go anywhere.
Usually, I don't
it's
know.
usually like
I was gonna
2
say the
hours.
time, but time zones are different.
It's you. Well,
Us-
yeah, it's
Usually
like 2
we
hours.
end in an hour from now.
Is it an hour? I thought we would end
Yeah.
at the...
Usually we end in an hour from now. Like an hour, hour and a half. It's usually that area.
Yeah, we tend about 3 to 3.5 hours at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still. I used to run 4 to 4.5 hour sessions, but with COVID hitting me, I'm still a little bit not on the complete side of running games my full length. Yeah, I'll still deal with the occasional dizziness spell. So
Don't worry, I'm gonna cast Confusion so much. What do you guys? So what are you guys' thoughts on Soren? Is he okay character?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Atlas might not, but I like him.
Understandable.
There is a reason Atlas doesn't, but that's a
Yeah.
thing to learn later.
Yeah, none of us know anything about Atlas. Just
Yep. He's just a mysterious elf that wears expensive clothing. And nobody's asked him anything about it, so he just hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah. You make everyone around you feel self-conscious.
Yeah. He is pretty attractive. If I saw him, I'd be like, hot damn, that's a nice elf.
I think we said that about all elves, though.
You're not wrong.
That's not true. Drow are pretty ugly.
It depends on who you ask.
there's always Dobby, the house
Gosh.
elf.
I wouldn't
Shut
count
up.
Harry Potter elves as typical elves. As cute as he might be before he took a dagger to the gut. Yeah.
You're right, Dobby. You're right. Dobby's pretty cute. He's a cutie.
I still remember that moment in the movies. That was brutal. Everyone fucking screamed. Alright, sorry for back. Go ahead and hit unready on your screen. I'm waiting for Mike and Frank to say them back before I continue. And Soren,
Hello.
you said you have a bit of a thing about you seeing dead bodies down here, right?
Apparently yes.
Fantastic. Go ahead and give me what are going to be a fear check to see how well you handle seeing a bunch of dead bodies down here. So this encompasses the spirit attribute. Go ahead and roll me a spirit check, please.
Just full spirit.
Yep, full spirit, be at -2. Since you're a youngin. With the raise, looks like. It's 11, it's going to be a 9.
Okay, 11.
Alright, so a 9. A 9 is still a raise. So, you're able to hold back the, probably that internal gut instinct of wanting to loose your lunch. You do not succumb to your fear at the moment.
Good thing too. You guys do not want to see what he had for lunch. It was clam chowder.
Don't think there'll be any clams around here.
It was fake clam. It's just chowder. It's just called clam chowder because it makes the people happier.
At least it wasn't human stew.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't worry. If you puke up, I'll just scoop it up and put it in the stew. It'll be fine. A little zest. I do need to get rid of this quickly, though.
Alright, well,
Human stew sounds delicious.
go and try it. Go and try it. We're going to continue since Frank is taking a little bit of a longer time. All of you are down here. A bunch of wreckage, a bunch of ruination. The search to find Soren's former master. This will be what will be known as a combined check. So, with the debris with impacts, this is a roll at a -3. But here's how we do this. Soren, you're the lookout. You're the one that's looking for this thing. You're going to be the main roller. Do not roll yet. Everyone now is going to aid. When they aid, they're going to roll a skill check. And for every success and raise, gives you on your main roll to actually find your master and his belongings a +1 at a base -3 from the debris and looking around. So,
Understandable.
everyone that's down here, what you want to use, obviously perception or notice is the obvious check to use, but you can use anything else, use like athletics to move stuff around. Tell me what you want to use to help out this squire to find his former master.
Dad,
Dasta.
where are you, Dad? No, I'm kidding.
What do you use? Dasta's out of here, what I'm saying. Next down the line, how dear, what do you use?
I would like to use athletics to try and like see if I could squeeze my way through some of the debris to get into like little cracks and corners broken to try and get into areas that can't be found.
Go for it. Your was at -1, by the way.
-1.
Mm-hmm. Break his back. All right. Unfortunately, you tried to look around, but you are too dislodged by debris. At least when you use a Benny, it's up to you. Donsta, as everyone's now looking around for the squire's former master, is there any skill check you want to use? Notice being the obvious one, but you use other checks, as Haldir just used athletics, to help aid in the search for the squire's master.
So what does the I guess the debris look like? Is it more like the place is kind of shattered in half? Like, is it just flattened out?
It was a
Or,
wood
like,
structure, so it pretty much shattered on impact with everyone inside. So it is a thorough debris field.
Okay, so there's not like a door we can walk in.
No,
or,
it is all rubble.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
There might be some standing like logs and beams, but for the most part, a majority of it is completely ruined.
Okay. I would want to say I would want to be able to kind of lift up some of the earth to kind of sift through it. Not like literally sift through it, but kind of just move some of the wooden debris out of the way by lifting the earth up a little bit.
Okay. You want to use your elementalism?
Sure.
All right. Remember, you still get fear siphoning, so be careful.
Okay, so do I have a minus? I have a -2 to it.
Yep.
Right?
But Ben, we're not in a press time sensitive, so you can actually what's the word I'm looking for? You can I can't think of the word.
Channel.
Yeah, for -2 or
Channel.
+2, so you negate the penalty.
Okay.
Well, that's definitely going to give him a +2. All right. Actually, that's a 7. Never mind, it's not. It is a 8. So right now when you roll, Soren is going to be at a -1. Now, Alice, how do you want to help out? As Haldir is kind of going through the debris, Donsta is lifting things with his manipulation.
So Atlas is just going to very carefully kind of walk around, and I wanted to use common knowledge to, so because his master would probably be in very distinct clothing compared to everyone else. So to kind of use that common knowledge to see if he can spot the very likely body, not living being.
I'll go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Oh, Paul, that is a raise, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You have +2 from the -3. So it's a -1 so far.
You had said it was a 7, so that's why I was just.
I did initially before I realized that a modifier was not included. So.
Oh, okay.
All right, Alice. You find a couple of areas that might belong to a knight of the Hearth Knights. That now gives Soren, when he rolls, a actual base roll. Gruesome, last one. How do you want to help out?
Hang on, am I able to use strength as an attribute, or does that have to be a skill?
So using attribute is actually more of a defensive nature. So in this case, no, you can't use it.
In that case, guess I'll just use notice to try and find him. I will look around, see if we can't notice him. Do you want that hindrance on?
You're not hearing anything, so no. You trying to hear the dead bodies? How that works?
Yeah. Little shuffling around, gurgle of the stomach.
Roll.
Yeah.
Roll the damn dice.
Fantastic.
That's going to be a failure. Which means let's use a Benny. Now for you, Soren, it'll be a notice roll at no penalty, since the group did give you a +3 to your -3, so it's a base roll.
Okay. What sort of roll am I looking at for notice? I don't suppose something like I could argue for, say, because of my knowledge of falling and falls in that kind of thing with common knowledge, where might the sort of area that my master might be, the fucking, what would the term be? The rooms.
I'm
the
gonna say a
rooms
no
where
to
those
that
might
one, because you don't know where he
Okay.
was when it did fall.
That's unlucky because this is a horrible roll. That's a D4. All right.
Now remember, you did roll a
Um,
d6 wild die, so there's a chance of that exploding. You have 2 chances of exploding the dice. And remember, target number is only 4, so it's not that hard a roll to do. It's a base roll. And it's a 5. It's success.
Yeah. Can I re-roll the base skill dice?
Why would you want to? You succeeded.
Oh, if I succeed, then never mind. I'm sorry, I don't know if that matters.
Yeah. So remember, the target number is
Alright.
always 4, and as long as one of the dice hit the number 4, you succeed. You rolled a 4. You rolled a 5, which is a success. So, as everyone's looking around, you are led to a spot where you do uncover the body, the broken body of your former master. It does look like he was in the midst of perhaps running out of the room. In his grasp is clutched a couple things. There is here, amongst a couple pieces of armor, is his map, a couple of his belongings. But I will say this, most of it has been ruined.
Okay. Well, in character, my only concern here is, I take his belongings and him, and attempt to bring him to the surface. 'Cause- his body.
With some finagling, you're able to get his body to the surface after about 30 minutes to an hour.
Can I request, or do the villagers hate me too much? Can I like puppy dog eyes? Can somebody give me a shovel to like the villagers?
They will give you that.
They won't.
They will. They will.
Okay. Then I'm gonna dig him a grave.
But they will tell you to dig the grave outside of town, which is normal. That kind of build a
Understandable.
grave inside of town. Okay. Just build a grave in middle of town. All right. So what you will retrieve from this Soren is kind of his will to the effects you would receive upon being knighted. Some of it on his possession was ruined. Some of it would be in Hellfrost Keep. That was to be yours. That you don't know what it is at the moment, but there are some things in essentially this kind of will or this squired note to you. Unfortunately, the armor was ruined as is, but you are able to retrieve essentially, we'll say 20 gold coins, as well as a map that he would use, obviously, to bring you here, since you are very, very far from
Nice.
Hellfrost Keep.
All right. Yeah, understandable. With that, yeah, burial done. Nothing else I really want to do.
Okay. That should tie up the events in Langa at this moment, because I do actually want to push you guys out of this town since you've been here for the last several months. So, with several goals, and I will say this, a very, very quick examination of the ancient map as well as the map that Soren has, you will find several, I would say relatively nearby, old civilizations. Nah, that's the word I want to use. Old civilizations that could be ruins, that could be places of intrigue.
Yeah, I think the yeah. Does anybody have any goals they want to accomplish? Oh, so I guess do I accomplish that short-term goal?
That was a short-term goal. You do accomplish that. So yes, you do receive a point of conviction, which I'll explain later on, and how it's used. But what I want to know now is what is the plan of action for the party. If you do look in the quest log, there are some things we still can pursue, as well as now trying to find information about the reliquary or finding a library to also search. So the two ways of finding about the weapon you have is by using a library, which are some around this map, as well as reliquary would probably be the best ones, but also with the drawback of what they are. We still have that ruins that are a bit to the north that was leading towards the original sinkhole, and then kind of just moving on and doing some quests, some adventuring, some exploring. Can go for ruins, look for there, going to another town. The nearby town of Godwound Village is the nearest town that goes back to essentially the roadway to civilization. And most towns will have things going on. They each have their own little unique story. Quests that can be had, hit local job boards, or if you want to start a tavern, as I mentioned, we need to worry about the strongholds to start researching your spells, your powers. This would be good for you also, Soren, as gaining more power requires a altar, which is going to require a room in a stronghold.
Can't I simply just visit like a pre-made stronghold and be like, hey, can I use your room of power real quick?
Nope, because that's be free. You have to do research on your own.
Yeah, understand.
So, everyone, what's the plan of action? This is the first kind of decision as a group you have to make. Do we need to make up a group leader to do the fun decision? Can you reliably, civilized, talk about the plan that y'all want to pursue, to do? Talk amongst yourselves where to go.
Well, I for one would
Paul?
like to go.
Well,
You go first.
Oh, Paul.
what's up, Mike? Or
I
Frank?
just had a quick question about Paul. Glory. Did we get any glory for saving Langa?
So to
No,
get
'cause
glory,
they
you
all
need
hate
to talk. You need to boast in tavern that no longer exists. So if you get to Godwin Village and boast there, yes, you can, but not here because there's no
Okay.
place to actually, there's no place to really do that at the moment.
Got it.
Well, I for one would like to investigate the dwarven ruins, because of course I do.
And to make it easy, also as you talk, sorry interruption. Also type in chat in founder chat, what you kind of want to do also, so we can get kind of a list of the goals the party wants to pursue at the moment.
Alright. Well,
Yeah.
I would like to.
Soren would simply just be like, you guys helped me enough. I'll. You guys can. What do we need to do that would help you guys?
There's one thing, traveling to Hellfrost Keep is a long journey, and you probably have to be well supplied to get that far.
Investigate. You know what? Paramania, you helped me, and you're clearly the only one that did, so I'm gonna say that investigate the dwarf.
That's a worrying take, sure.
Well, I have
But-
connections to dwarfs. For instance, being small.
You make an excellent point.
Yeah, you can't argue with facts.
I'll tell you what, I'll cut the tail off a horse and you can have your own fake beard.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
No one's
is this
gonna
like
question the cutting the tail off the horse.
is this the initiation for being a dwarf?
No, first we have to cut your knees out, but you know, we can do that later.
I gotta get kneecapped. All right.
Yeah.
Understandable. I can handle it. Who needs knees when you
Oh,
have
Lord.
magic?
Atlas and okay, ancient map, magic items, and Atlas. What about you?
So it's 2-2 basically.
Atlas doesn't exactly have anything particular that he wants to do in the moment. So I think his interest. Okay, I did it. I figured it out. Just needed a second. I don't know why my brain is like. I think my brain's lagging today.
Have you rebooted?
Hit that restart
Yeah, I
button.
honestly need to reboot my brain. It's not working today.
Have you tried kicking it?
I have not. That's a good decision. I should do
It
that.
works for my TV.
Let me just go upstairs and have one of my parents kick me in the head as hard as possible. That'll fix this problem.
I would suggest a shot of whiskey and then 2 liters of water.
Wouldn't be the first time. Sorry.
Now, there's been the question though: is as a group, since we have a lot of different goals, do we need to choose a group leader, or can you all diplomatically choose on a course of action?
Well, there are 5 members of the group, so theoretically there should be a tiebreaker. But also one of us is just like, I don't care, which is unfortunate because it's 2-2 split.
I think we could probably hit 2 of these if we go to like the Dwarven City. Maybe they have a library that could talk about axes,
Oh.
and
Two
then
birds
also
with one
find
stone.
out
So-
about like ancient lost dwarven ruins in the area, and then go from there.
So,
We did
I-
investigate a lot of the ruins already. Like, I'm pretty sure we went in most of the rooms there.
There was like one room that we didn't go in. There was like one room.
Well, there was an entirely different set of ruins on the way to those ruins.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't even step in that.
Hmm.
The one we found was the chimney to a blacksmithy thing. A forge, that's the word.
Yeah.
And
Which one would be closer to
Or-
us?
So I'll bring you all back to the Borderlands map. So, for your edification, the closest point of interest, I would say, time-wise or distance-wise, would be the unexplored dwarven ruins that you found on the way towards the sinkhole. Karad Narog is actually on the southern side of the Surfcat Mountains, which means you have to go all the way around the peaks. So that is a journey that's essentially going either this way or taking a very, very questionable path through the mountain pass here, which is very, very high and highly dangerous. Or going the traditional route of essentially there's multiple ways to go. If Garden is your destination, how do you plot the course there?
I would figure since the dwarven mines are to the north, like we could hit the mines and then work our way around and hit things on the way there.
Yeah, where were the actual ruins that we came across?
Like right there.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we could go from there to here and then work our way down.
Yeah, do that.
I figured that way it's
Well, yeah, we can just go straight to Zagniv and then just loop around.
However,
Alright. I'm in agreement with whatever the group wants to be.
Well, I like that plan.
yeah, we
I mean, if there's gonna be magic items inside the ruins, then I'm all for it because that's really pretty much what I'm looking for.
yeah. Plus, we don't have to make a decision if we just do everything.
Exactly. The best way of making a decision is avoiding the decision altogether.
Why make a decision when we can just do the same thing? You know what I mean?
All right. So are we heading? Well, you tell me. Who's the official spokesman?
Clearly the 16-year-old.
I figure we'll go to the dwarven mines, or yeah, ruins. Go find that chimney.
If that's in accordance with the group actions, everyone type in I in chat if the goal right now is to go to the ruins. I. All right, well, that's definitely a majority, which means the group is heading towards the mines that were not explored yet. So, it is currently 10:08 p.m. If there's anything you want to do within the edges of Lenga, do it now. or we're moving on to the morning. I just want to go there right now. It's up to you.
Sleep.
I guess I'll try this human stew.
No. That's,
Do not bring that back up.
I'm saving that. Just put it this way: I'm
No.
saving that for a special occasion that may or may not happen. I don't know
He's
what I'm
sa-
going to use
He's
it
saving
for.
it for a rainy day.
Atlas
Yeah.
is waiting for the right moment where he can get rid of it.
Yeah.
In a way, so am I. I'm just looking for a more useful way of getting rid of it than dumping it
His
out.
process will take a little bit longer.
Yeah. I'm not just gonna leave this perfectly good human stew around.
Yeah, we're not wasteful.
Well, just to keep in mind, I can't teleport us out of these ruins because of the tavern being destroyed. That kind of wiped out my waypoint.
Yeah.
So I have to get back to another town to be able to teleport us anywhere.
Roger
So
that.
if we get stuck down there, we get stuck down there. I mean, I can get us out, but still, I can't get us around.
Yeah.
Well,
You
we
can't
have,
tell.
we're underground and we have a person who can bend rock. I'm pretty sure we're good.
Siphoning.
Yeah, to a degree.
Oh right, you guys get siphon. Sorry, I just sorry. The concept is hilarious to me that I'm just like, oh, you guys have to have siphon. Wow. My character is just like get pranked.
So your god decides you don't have powers, and then we giggle.
Yeah,
at you.
unless you overuse your powers and you lose them.
As long as I overuse it in the right way, we're fine. Like for 50% off chicken at a KFC. Medieval KFC.
All right. Is there anything that needs to be done during this nighttime, or can we move to the morning?
Sleep.
Yeah, I think just sleep.
All right. We're moving to the 13th of Moon Day. 5 a.m. Bright early morning. The dwarves are still going about repairing the town. Fortifications are going to be a while before they get back set back up, but they're being built currently. Again, the voice of the town is, "Why are you still here?" They expect you to be out of the town this day,
We should definitely
that's
talk to his
fantastic.
and
mayor,
nigh return.
or at least talk to his little servant, because that guy's a dick.
I can't be asked with his servant. I'm upset that somebody saved him, honestly.
Can we just kill him and just say it's an accident?
Whoa, hey, everybody deserves life.
Not this servant.
Not that
Sad-
guy. Not that guy.
Sad life cleric moment.
They don't like this guy at all.
When the party all agrees to kill a person, but you're the life cleric. Oh no, guys, you can't do that. That's bad.
Well, we did lose the local tracking expert, so as Vanya decided to stay behind and repair the town with the dwarves, who here is going to be the tracker, the guide back towards the destination? It can't be Soren because he wasn't there. So, of the four of you, who's going to be the survival roller?
I have a D8 in survival. If someone has something better.
Nope,
I don't think you can.
I don't have survival.
neither do I.
I have
Uh,
motives, and I'm hard of hearing.
Mochi, what's yours?
Mine's a D6, I believe.
Okay.
You could help him.
No.
Yeah, so was that Donster who had the survival thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go up to Vanya and be like, hey, remember those runes? Here, mark it on this map.
But yeah,
Hey.
I'm in favour of having Donster be the.
Hey, so about those runes, yeah. Well, you're gonna stay here and help everything. We kind of want to get money, so we're gonna dip. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Donster's got
Well, I
himself.
rolled pretty well for the survival, so.
Yeah.
All right. Donsta, as you and the group start to head on or back to the north towards those set of formations in the ground, it does take you about 2 hours before you arrive at your destination. It's in the wilderness, and you arrive at that familiar sight of that somewhat that chimney as structure made up of stone. And if you remember, when you look down into it, you see the natural tunnel that was used as a chimney, and there is a steel or metal grate that was put in place to prevent anyone from going into it by the dwarves. And the question is, how do you wish to get into this place?
Was it a chimney that we first saw?
It was.
Okay. I know we went down a chimney in the last place that we were in.
Did we? I thought we
Yeah,
fell down.
the last place that we went in, because we had to go down a chimney to go. I think it was into the one room that the wall was caved in or something like that.
It wasn't a chimney, it was
No,
just an
that
actual hole in the ground.
Yeah,
I was
they-
gonna say that was
that
the
one.
You know, it was a cave-in or a collapse.
I remember somebody saying something about a chimney.
Well, this is the chimney. This is the only chimney that I'm pretty sure they're thinking about is right here.
I was gonna-
I
Oh,
tried
okay.
to climb. I tried to climb the chimney and failed.
You ain't Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Santa Claus can't.
How big is this chimney? In width, I guess.
Oh,
Like easy.
we're about to find out.
Let's do a visual representation. Go ahead and make this easy. Here, we'll use this inconspicuous fire pit as the actual chimney. So, that right there, the blackness is the opening into the ground. It's only wide enough to allow a single person through at a time. Remember, the chimney
Or the
sits
tree.
about 5 feet in height, stacked stone. But I believe it was actually either put apart or just demolished or whatnot. But you can see inside. So part of it still is standing. Part of it is not. But the main deterrence right now is that metal gate. This is to prevent people from essentially traveling into it and then shimmying down whatever that entails. So the immediate one is the gate.
Do we know how far down it goes? Until it hits ground?
It does wind a bit, but you can guess it goes about maybe 35 to 40 feet down.
Okay. So nothing crazy. All right.
Nothing crazy.
Does someone want to break the grate off, or? I mean, we can travel through the earth. I can try to get us all, but I don't know if they can or not.
What is the worst that could happen if you try and take us all with your magic?
Siphoning.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
but
the
like, are
worst
we
that can
like?
happen.
But I mean, like, are we stuck in the ground?
No, we can just move freely through the earth.
Okay.
Or he could just lose
Trying
his
to see
powers.
here.
So
Well, I suppose it'll be easier to take out the grate from above than it would, or would it?
I will be a couple seconds. Somebody's ringing my doorbell.
Gotcha.
I say we try the grate first, and then if we can't get in, we could try magic.
Sounds like a plan. I'm going to assume this is going to be a strength roll. I have a D10 in that.
So the strength roll cannot be aided because of just the confines of where you are, and this will be at a -4.
Right. Does anybody have something better than a 10?
Remember,
No.
you do have some powers that can boost strength.
I do. However, I'm seeing who's the strongest, and then we'll worry about boosting afterwards.
I think D10's as high as we go right now. So
Yeah, I think you, Brewster, is the strongest.
Strong little dwarf boy. Okay. In that case, assuming this is what we're wanting to do, Yeah, we're breaking in through the thing and thingy and a thingy.
Yeah, it's the only entrance we know of.
Okay. In that case, I would like to use boost lower trait for my strength.
All right.
Do you want any modifier on that?
You may get all penalties because you're channeling. So if you're doing it more than one people, let me know. If you're doing it just yourself, then go ahead and roll.
Okay. Roll and hope for something good.
All right. A success, not a raise. You keep on rolling though to get a raise if you want, but you have the chance to trigger the siphon if you do that way. It's up to you.
I think I'll just, I've got an additional boost from it.
All right, there you go. You got a minor boost. You should be at a D12 right now.
Indeed, I am. And with that, I would now like to roll for strength to attempt to, I guess, finagle the gate, the grate.
-4.
Yes, I did see this. Actually, is it too late to have a look at, to actually look at the gate and see how it's attached?
The dwarves essentially built it into the earth to where it's not meant to have like a gate to open up and down. It's meant to be permanently closed. So it is going to require essentially brute force, especially being on the top side. They probably built it from the bottom, which is away from where you can reach. So it's going to be pretty much at the moment just sheer straight to pull this thing free.
Okay.
Luckily, you had time of A to do this. Wow. You get in there, Brewsome.
Okay.
You start to heave and pull with all your damn strength. Your muscles are tensing, they're straining, starting to be sweat on your brow. And you start to feel the earth start to give. And after a few moments, with a grating noise and breaking of a bit of the stone around you, you pull the grate free.
Like I said, strong little dwarf boy. I assume I now fall because this was a grate that I was standing on or something.
You were kind of at the edge, so you could have kept yourself from falling in. You're good at the moment.
Okay.
So, Paul,
Yes.
from that terrible check I did earlier, did my rope get destroyed?
Yes.
All right.
Just the end of it. You could have recovered it. It just had to. It's a little bit shorter than it was before.
Oh, okay.
It pretty much came untied.
How long is your rope, idea?
It says rope hemp 5, so let's see.
It's about 25 feet,
It's 25 feet?
roughly.
Oh, because it says 5 feet in mine.
It did break though.
Yeah, mine says a 5-foot hemp rope.
Oh.
That's why I was wondering if there was a different length in rope that I could have bought.
Let's see.
I don't imagine a person would buy 5 feet of rope. Just
Yeah,
5 feet.
it's supposed to be 5. It says 5 inches. It's 5 inches of rope. In game terms, so it's actually 25 feet.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's around 25 to 30 feet. It's still too short to go all the way down, especially with all the bends and turns and whatnot. So now that the main barrier to actually get into this place is cleared, how do you want to get down?
Would any checks to get down revolve a stat like vigor?
That would be if you actually fall down instead of climbing down. That's to
Okay,
avoid getting yourself killed.
Down.
What sort of
Probably beat
enhancements?
athletics.
So I can only boost vigor, correct?
Yes. Which does boost your toughness, so it's good for combat. Or if you're going to expect a big tumble, it'll help you absorb damage, essentially.
Okay, so I could be like, hey, what if we just jump down, cast boost vigor?
You'll probably die.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Alright. I will save my luck with rolls until after. Do I have any like other materials I should know about, like other gear than short sword and halberd? Which actually probably is going to change after the session anyway, so...
You have just miscellaneous small gear, and just for the session, just because we are running among time, we'll just say that you have just anything that needs that's very, very cheap miscellaneous you probably have on you.
Yeah, things that like make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does
Yeah,
anybody
then
have?
I
I was gonna say, does anybody have dark vision other than me?
I do.
I do.
I
I
do
do.
clearly. No, I'm kidding. I can persuade the darkness to give me
I mean,
non-dark.
Well, 'cause I definitely do not want to go first.
Uh, do I have a torch, DM?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Amazing. I'll go first with a torch.
well,
He's a
I want to cast spider climb on everybody. At least try, uh, before we try to climb down, because
Understandable.
we don't have enough length of rope to climb down with a rope.
But
So,
it is really
because
tight
I'm
though.
because I'm going first, I also am just gonna cast a spell, Boost Vigor, on myself.
Okay.
'Cause in case I fucking fall and die, then I'll die very vigorously. Let me see if I can code it. Perfect. You want me to roll it?
Click on roll. That will be a
Okay.
success. Not
Yeah,
a
good
raise,
thing it was
no success.
Good thing it was a wild. Good thing it was a wild dice and not my skill dice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is my god gonna be pissed? Oh no. God, I swear, God.
All right, and Dusta, if you want to cast your stuff, go for it.
and I know that would be a minus. How many? So that would be a -4 to the roll, correct?
The base roll is at -1, and then for every additional person, which is 4 people, that's going to be add up the total. 2 plus, what is it, 4? So 6. Half of that is 3, so it is a -3.
Because this is in my sort of like sphere of influence in a way with helping other people. Could I attempt to help him at all in this casting, or is that not
In
something?
magic, no, I can't help in this. You can like in type of rituals, but this is a ritual. As is, he did succeed. So all of you are able to essentially just climb on down without fear of falling.
All right. Whoa, guys, this feels weird. He says he just like spider crawls down the wall.
Well, basically, when you touch the ground or touch the wall, your hands almost like sticky tape,
Right,
almost
so it's
like
like spider.
the wall. But well, no, not in this case because it's earth. Your hands almost are like suction cupped into like mud, basically.
Yeah. So my point still stands. Whoa, guys, this feels weird. As my hands like are like suction cupping to the wall as I make my way down. I'll be one hand on the wall, one hand with a torch. DM.
All right, 1 second. We're gonna go ahead and try a style. I was curious if it would work. All right, let's bring it back into this map. Where's it at?
And if anybody needs to roll an athletics check while using wall climb, you get a +4 to the roll.
Oh, dear goodness. So, just to recap, because I did have to answer my door, or my house. We're essentially just climbing down into the ruins. We've arrived and we're going down.
Indeed.
Yep.
And you pulled off a great. It would have been hilarious if I had come back in time to say I have a D8 in strength and pulling. The 16-year-old casually just like breaking it with ease.
There we go.
You say that it took the D12 and I only just managed.
Oh, damn.
Strong dwarf.
Strong dwarf indeed.
All right.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, Vanya's back.
Hey, Vanya. Hey. Whoa.
Hey,
Vanya,
Randy,
get
what's happening?
replaced. Dang.
This is where she's been hiding.
You guys have sent me to the curb already. Not good enough. Not a good enough healer.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you're talking about. That's funny. Okay.
God, I'm just not good enough of a healer, guys. You can fine. You can have Vanya back.
There you go. All right. So as you climb down, you find yourselves at the bottom. Easy enough done because of Johnston's ability to make you all wall walk. And as you climb down, this is a actual chimney meant for essentially air to grant passage through the facility, or this fort, I should say, this stronghold. And you get to the bottom, you're seeing that it is very, very old stonework. Now, this is the same stonework as the other part of the dwarven fort you're in. This is essentially the same place, just a different section of the stronghold. What you see as you have gone down is that to the right is part of the natural stone cavern this was built into. There seems to be a roadway, a pathway, that does extend to the west, the east, as well as to the south. To the north, you see a couple stairs. There seems to be a structured room, all a bit in ruin, all very covered in dust, all ruined, as I mentioned already. And to the immediate left, you can see, is another form of structures. These seem to be blocky dwarven rooms or homes. You see the doorways. Obviously on the map you can see into it right now, since I'm not making the type of map we did before. Since I'm doing these essentially on the spot. But pretend you can't see into the rooms themselves. But you can see that they are fully walled, and it is very, very quiet. As you come down here, you don't quite hear anything for that matter.
I've got a
It is
question.
dark down here.
How, if I may, sorry I didn't mean to interrupt you, but how long does boost vigor last? It says 5 rounds. I don't know how long that is in, like, time terms.
So, in this game, you can keep a spell up as long as you want. You essentially keep it on concentration. The drawback is, though, any other future spells you do are at -1 for every spell you have available. And if you do get stunned, you can lose all of your powers that you have available up.
Is there a potential that I could cast boost vigor on my party, and just concentrate on holding that for as we explore these runes?
You can. So if you actually look at... There you go. If you open up the actual sheet, not that. All right.
We've been moved. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Sorry.
If you open up the sheet for the spell itself, you can access the information of it, and it should have a additional recipient, and it should be +1 per person. The calculation is essentially look at the base PowerPoint cost as well as the total of everyone included, which is 4 people, and then have that as the penalty to cast a spell.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm casting it. I'd be casting it on. Because I already cast it on myself, so I'd be casting it on 4 more people. Essentially. All right. Yeah. No, I will attempt it. What's the worst that could happen? My God saying "fuck you"? Who knows? So you want me to roll it with how much of a penalty?
Click the card in chat and I can read it real quick.
Yeah, casting it on 4 total people.
All right, so base power points is 2. If you look at the additional recipient, it's going to be +1. So 2 + 4 is 6, so it's -3.
Well, and I have to beat a 4?
Sorry, excuse me?
And I have to beat a 4?
Yes.
See, I think my rolls are like a d6.
I
So I don't
believe
know
they
if I
are.
can make that.
You can remember, the dice can explode. They can ace.
That's true. I mean, it's worth a shot. Right, guys? Right?
Before you do this, I can cast a protection spell on us. If you would rather not piss off your god, potentially.
Well, I think the effects of me pissing off my god are less than the effects of you just losing magic for 2 days. I don't think it's my god being pissed, more so my god being like, "Hey man, you're using my power a little bit too much. I'd back it up a little bit, okay?"
It's pretty much what it
but
is.
I'll attempt it. Oh,
Hey.
oh, Oh,
Well, it's a good
damn.
thing you did tempt it.
Double sixes.
All right. This will make everyone pretty damn beefy for the time being.
Everyone gains a +1 vigor.
All right, I'll do this. Don't do it yourself.
Wait, actually, that's not good because -3. It'd be 6. Yeah, I already had boost vigor.
Yep, we're gonna get rid of the minor one. This is a major one now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, a damn double sixes.
Well, I don't think he put in the -3 to it though.
Yeah, I didn't put -3 in. I think I rolled like a 6 after the -3 or 7 after the -3. I can't remember because it was -1 innately. And it was
Oh, so it would have been actually okay. Check that. It's actually not a raise. It is
because it's 7.
no. So you rolled a 9 minus
No, I rolled 10 -1 because it already calculated the -1 in, and then it two more additional minuses because I don't know.
The total was a 10 minus 3 is the actual result, which would be a 7,
Yep.
which is not a raise, unfortunately. You need 8 to get a raise.
Oh,
You're
is
close to it,
4
not
higher?
quite. Yeah.
Okay, damn.
So,
Right. Everyone do me a favor real quick. In your trait section of your character sheet, go ahead and delete the major boost figure. I'm going to go ahead and put in minor boost figure now. Please.
I'm so sorry, guys.
It's still not bad.
Traits. Where do I? Oh, traits. Here we go. Major boost vigor. Get out of here. Nobody
Yep,
likes you.
go ahead and delete it.
So for your modifiers, I don't know if they told you, but where the chat box is, if you look up, it says trait roll modifier. So before you roll, click on one of those for the amount that you need, and then roll it, and that way it'll add it to the card when you roll.
All right, understandable. Yeah, because I noticed like people had like +1s to their rolls and stuff, and I don't know where I get that from.
And it is dark down here, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have a torch out, so at least the immediate area is illuminated. Right,
Here,
Jim?
let's do this to make it fit.
Oh shit! Oh boy, that is dark.
Light is very dark. Oh me, oh my. It is dark.
Yeah. How much vision does my torch give me? Like 15? Actually, I don't know if this does like dim light.
There you go. That is a torch.
Okay.
Those are your ranges.
Nice.
I
Alright.
think I'm going to reload my screen because it's still pitch black.
Yep,
So
it at
back
5.
in a moment.
Yeah, torch in one hand, sword in the other. Soren just looks at the party and says, "Well, it seems my god is smiling on me at least." He says, like, as we all get like boosted with like a vigorous enchantment. Noticeably he doesn't like look to even do much. He more like closes his eyes for a moment as he like feels like his god being like, "Hey yo, homie, let me help you out." And then the spell is casted. As he glows a little bit, and then now y'all heal. You got this healing, or not healing, but vigor.
Still dark for me.
Yeah, it's still pitch.
Yeah, I have.
To reload.
Yeah, and even when I hit my torch, it's not.
Yeah, I've reloaded it twice.
If it helps, I have my torch and it's working. I don't know if it helps any of you guys, but at least I'm
No,
seeing.
it's, our
Right.
screens are completely black.
Who can see right
Yeah.
now? Who can see the map?
Do you see your
I
own
can't.
tokens?
No.
No.
Right, so whoever can see the map, say yes.
I can. Yes.
Okay, I know what it is. Alright.
Understandable.
There we go.
Okay, there it is.
Nope, still black.
Alright, Bruce,
Try
yours should work.
refreshing.
Yeah, hit refresh now. Should work now.
It's working for me now. Just refresh it.
Refreshing.
Yeah, I like this system a lot, DM, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. I love the system.
Oh. Mostly because my rolls have been really fucking good so far. Like, I rolled a 4 on, like, the 1d20. I've rolled 3 exploding dice so far.
Right, I can see now. Well, partially. Wait. I'm going to remove my boost strength.
All right.
Don't cast you on that. I'll just leave that for now.
All right. So now we go off what you actually see on the map. So you see a dwarven pillar to the north, and we have open groundwork to the right, as well as to the left. We have actual dwarven groundwork.
Okay. If I can, Soren's gonna start moving to check out what's down here. At least get a little bit of a look-see.
You can use your arrow keys or the WAS keys on the keyboard to move, or you can drag. Just don't go crazy.
Yeah. I more so meant because I couldn't move. He's just gonna poke his head down here.
All right. Well, since you are a new player and we are running towards the time we would end, I want to get you at least a taste of what combat looks like in this game. So, it makes sense you're down here. We are going to do that fact right now. Although, Haldir failed his roll on his thing. So, as you all are traversing as interlopers, as intruders in this sacred ancient place, the ground starts to move just a tiny tidbit. And you watch as a rather large section of the ground starts to move, starts to shift.
Where have I heard this before?
But
Watch
a
out, Bruce,
worm-
you're about to get possessed again.
A worm doesn't break through, but this time, the natural elements, as a elemental being, comes forth out of the ground. And then another one also, you can hear in the distance, form and appear. Altogether, we have 3 of these beings that form, made up of rock of stone, and they make no noise besides just the sound of rock earth scraping against each other, but they move towards all of you. And we're now going to show how combat works in this game.
Okay.
Everyone open up the combat tracker, will you not? Right, so in this game, we don't use dice to draw initiative. We actually use cards. A deck of playing cards. King or ace being the highest, going down to 2. A joker is very, very good as it gives you a lot of bonuses, and it changes initiative every single round. So, for the start of round 1, as these elemental earth entities come forth from you, intruding into their domain at the moment, we are going to go with, well, these are the card draws. You can go ahead. Why did it go in that order? That's weird.
Yeah, they're all diamonds.
Something's wrong here. Let's see.
Yeah, something like that's a little bit. Wait a minute. Just wait a minute.
There we go.
All right.
Okay.
That looks more appropriate. I see 2 jokers.
I'm using my bennies to redraw that because that is.
What? You're not going to let us use our 2 jokers?
I was about to say that too.
I'm
It's got
using my Benny.
jokers.
I'm gonna
There we
use
go.
a Benny to reroll.
7 of spades is a little bit better.
I'm gonna use a Benny to reroll that 3.
All right. On a character sheet, go ahead and use a Benny. You just go ahead and double click it. And we're going to go ahead and draw a card which gives you a ace of clubs.
Nice.
And I just realised these are jacks, not.
Jotaro.
I
Deal.
was kind of hoping that I would stay first because I had a plan to do. and now
Well,
it might not go so well for a certain person
yeah, and now your plan is ruined.
because the others know probably what I'm gonna do,
All right.
but you
Mine
don't.
is the same.
So
Plan is
just
ruined, as
for
it should be.
since you don't know the game at all, Storm, I'm gonna have you actually go second. Just because it would be easier to see how the turn plays out.
Hey.
In the structure. So let's go ahead and go first, and then we'll have Soren go after you.
Okay. I think you know what I want to do. The problem is I can't see where the other two are.
I know that's the problem.
Okay, that's just a casual problem. Nice. Um,
You may have to wait until Howdia or one of the other light
Yeah, Soren
bearers.
was gonna rush over. So,
I think I can do it around him. I just need I have 8 paces. No, I hate doing I think I just have to like okay, brain, let's make a sentence before you start rambling, please. I'm sorry. Um, how far are okay, paces are just like the inches, correct?
Yes.
Am I allowed to move forward to see? No, I don't have the light, so I can't see better. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I need
Now,
someone
I
with
can
light to
also-
move forward.
you can ask Soren for his, and he could. I don't know if I can give it to you on this turn or if you can just grab it, but
Now, there is a potential that I could talk our way out of this since they're Earth beings, but if we want to kill them, I guess we could.
Um, is there a
Maybe.
way that I could ask someone with light to move forward? Or
So
can
what
you
you would
not
do
do that?
is go on hold. When you go on hold, you essentially put your alignment, you put your initiative to blank and go whenever you want in that round or even next round.
Okay. Because I know Soren has light, and it looks like Brewsome or Donsta also has light. I don't know which one of you it is.
I have light.
Okay.
Haldir also, I believe, has light.
Yeah, I can see the circle there. Okay. I think I'm gonna do a hold so that I can see better.
All right. Bruce, do you have a light by any chance?
No, however, I am intending to cast a spell.
Can I run for like I?
All right. Well, I'll have to show you how the turns work then, Soren. So in this game, Soren, you have a free movement, and then up to 3 actions. But the more actions you do past the first one, do give you a cumulative -2 to all your rolls. If you run, you don't move double distance. You actually roll a run die, which is a d6. You add that, and it also contributes to your action penalty. So you can attack 3 times. You can cast a spell 3 times. You can do whatever you want up to 3 times. But every time you do more than one action, you accumulate -2 to the roll. But you have to declare up front what you're going to do before you actually do the actions.
Yeah, and how much movement do I have to start with?
So base humans have 6,
pace.
and then you have a d6 to run if you want to move further than that.
I believe 6 pace will get me to where I need to be. That's 5 inches. That's 5 out of 6. So before I move, though, I should probably say what I'm doing. Which I am concentrating currently on what, like 5 spells technically?
No,
speaking,
just one
or is
spell.
Only one?
There's one spell that is just beefed up. That's all.
Okay. So that is a cumulative -1 to all of my spell casting checks.
Yes.
And another 2 because we're technically in combat.
Yeah. So you can't channel no more.
Correct. So that's -3. I'd have to roll exploding dice in order to make a cast.
What did you think you wanted it to do?
I'm going to move here.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna move here. I see. That's unfortunate. I'm going to attack with my sword.
All right. So go ahead and target the thing by holding Alt and left clicking on the target. All right.
Yep.
And then go ahead and activate that card for your longsword or your short sword. All right. So it has no cover. You just move, so no penalties on multi-action. There's no modifiers. The attack options. You can do what's called a wild attack. A wild attack gives you +2 to hit, +2 damage, but makes you vulnerable. Essentially, lets them have +2 to hit you back.
Okay. I'm not gonna wild attack. I'm just gonna do a basic bitch attack.
Okay. Then click on roll. Now you're gonna roll against her toughness, and you look like you're able to hit. All right. So if you look at the result, it's a single check mark. It's not a raise. If you got a raise, you actually roll an extra d6 damage. In this case, it's a normal hit. Go ahead and click on just the 2d6, not the plus d6 under damage in the card. Now, just you hit, you have to actually damage them. That's a horrible roll. You rolled a 3. You can use a Benny. It's in the card to actually re-roll that damage if you want, or take the roll. All right, we're going for it. This time,
Hilarious.
it's the same thing.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Well, the game wants me to die here, so I'm just gonna accept my fate. Yeah.
All right, so you good with that? With those results?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Fuck it. Oh wait. Oh, okay.
All
I'm gonna
right.
say fuck it.
Brewsome, we'll let you do it again later on. There's still be some enemies around. I want to get you a taste of how the combat works in this game.
Super quick question before Brewsome goes. Am I allowed to move and still hold, or if I move, I have to do
You essentially
things?
take your turn whenever you want. Even you can even interrupt an enemy or a player if you want to by doing opposed agility rolls. But when you go back into initial order, you take your round. You take your full turn at that point, movement and
Okay. I'll keep holding.
all. Okay.
Right. I would like to let me just check which one it is that I'm allowed to do.
So real quick, Atlas, go ahead and do you have the combat tracker open?
Yes, I do.
Do you see the 2 arrows next to your name?
I do not.
All right, maybe it's just on my side. All right, so essentially, let me know if you want to go after the next player or if you want to interrupt a player.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for more visual.
Gotcha. Brewsome, what's course of action?
So I would like to cast deflection on everyone in the party.
Go for it.
Do that. I need to target people. Actually, do I need to target? I forget.
Yes,
Yes, I do.
there's a reason why for this. Might not be set up, but possibly.
Right, and any modifier should be right.
This is a -4, by the way, total.
We'll do that. And that should be correct.
You tried at -2, so put it in -2, but it's right, you already rolled. Yeah.
It's not happening anyway.
Yep, too strong. Or too strong of a power to do it right now. You want to use Benny, or you want to keep with it?
I want to base. We're coming to the end. I may as well start bending. You know, Benny.
That's a 6. You might do it. That's an 11. All right, everyone has a bit of deflection on them. Actually, didn't have it coded in right now, so we'll just right now. Where's it at? All right, everyone now has deflection on their token, so I know what's going on. All right, Brewsome, you cast the spell. You want to move?
Yes, I would. I would like to move up to here. Believe that's within my walk range.
All right. So one of these things is about to be on Soren as Soren tried to hit it, but unfortunately his weapon hit this stone-esque man and just chipped it. Nothing happened. And all of you watch as your form starts to fade a little bit. Brewsome, you might pass your turn to Donsta. Donsta, what do you want to do?
I pretty much want to run over to here and try to speak to the Earth Elemental and basically just say, we're not here as hostiles. I am a pylon of Eartha, and I am sorry if we have disturbed your land in some kind. To see if I could persuade them in some way to stop.
They ignore you.
They're angry.
They're angry.
Looks like they chose violence.
Let's see.
And
Since you already
Donsta,
cast
just for information,
Deflection-
I'm doing that just because I want to have actual combat for the session because I want to teach Soren how to play the game combat-wise. That's why.
Yep.
So Normally, I might actually allow this, but not right now.
Not a problem. I guess I'll just hit it with a earthen shard.
Go for it. Target it, please.
Why is it not doing it?
All right, that hits with a raise. Go click on the damage roll. +6.
The +6.
Yep, it's a raise.
All right.
You see this though? It has the double check marks, which means is that, and this does nothing to the elemental. You can Benny that to damage if you want to.
I'll do it.
It's even worse.
All right, whatever.
All right, Haldir, it is on you.
I would like to move, cast a spell, and then take a shot.
Go for it.
All right. First, seeing this big golem run up behind me, scare the crap out of me. I'm going to run here, and then I would like to cast Rolling Quiver. And that's at minus.
It's already included.
So the -2 is already in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's actually -1.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Already included. Go ahead and just roll.
And it fails, and then I shoot. And I hit.
That will hit. Roll damage. This might do nothing. Arrow strikes the elemental and just breaks on the body. You can use the Benny if you want to.
I don't know, that was a pretty good one. Sure, why not? Yeah, it's worse.
All right.
Yeah, we're doing like the maximum damage we can do. Jesus.
No, because you can explode the dice. All right, my boy's gonna go. It's gonna look at you, Soren. I'm gonna have you explore what's gonna go on. So it is going to target you, and it is going to lift up a giant fist and come smashing down on top of you. It is going to wild attack.
How
Makes it a
dare.
little more vulnerable because it is angry at being ganged up by all of you, and it's going to roll.
Yeah.
It's a hit. So the fist hits you. Not just gonna hit you, it has to actually damage you. We now go against your toughness. I'll explain how these values work later on. But here comes the incoming blow, which is horrible. I'm gonna Benny that myself.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Maybe I should have done
I'm
that.
gonna
Maybe I should have done that. All right.
First session death.
I'm
Yeah,
dead.
it's what's happening here. So,
Wow.
this game is very, very lethal, as you're about to find out, and I guess you might learn early if we're going with it. You can stack code in the first game of this, first round of this game, unfortunately.
Can I Benny that?
So, hero characters have a total of 3 wounds. On the 4th one, they go down, start to bleed out. They're not dead, but they're very, very close to being dead. You just took 8 wounds, which means you have to get so many raises to negate that. You can try. You have to
Can I
get
Benny that?
very, very lucky. So I'm going to activate this.
Is there anything I can do?
You see where it says Soak Vigor Roll on the card?
Yeah.
Click on that. All right. You're able to soak 2 wounds out of 8, so you still took full damage, which means your character does go down incapacitated.
Does the minor boost to vigor and anything help here?
It did. You took a lot of damage here. Now,
Oh my
just
God,
for the
dude.
game itself, I want you to experience the game, so I'm not going to kill you until the end of combat.
What? Oh my god.
It's a pre-made character. You can make a new one, or rebuild this one.
I gave a lot of thought into this. Oh, okay.
Well, the concept, yeah. But either way, you're not going to
Oh
fully
my
die.
god.
I won't kill you this fast. It comes around to you, Brewsome, another one.
Another one.
Same thing, Brewsome. Is going to try and smash into you the same attack that literally demolished Soren. But Soren, you experienced how deadly this game can be. But for this game, I won't kill you with this because that's kind of cheap if I do that. But future games, let's do the game. It will go through the way it is. All right. Comes in, and this is a hit to you, Brewsome.
Fantastic.
Damage roll. Now I'm gonna play fair, so I'm gonna use a Benny. I have him to see if I can damage you.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to really.
All right, 3 wounds,
Fantastic.
Brewsome. You want to soak it? You want to take it?
Christ.
I'm a soak. I'm not going to soak, apparently.
Is this gonna be a party wipe?
Could be. All right, Brewsome. Looks like you're taking those 3 wounds, so you are definitely hurt by this elemental. The last one does come forward. Alice,
They're so strong.
it sees you, and
Oh,
it is going
fantastic.
to try and throw a rock at your head.
Damn. The audacity.
And succeeds fairly well.
Alice better die real quick.
Just 1 wound. The other option, do you want to soak it?
I'll
You have 3
try.
bennies.
Yep, I'll try.
Okay, you're good. You take no damage.
Okay.
So, hang on, is the deflection and... Well, I imagine the vigor was already taken, but was the deflection...
I forgot about the deflection. I'm a fucking idiot.
Okay.
Let's see. This could save some people. Let's find out. You know what?
I mean,
That's a major script on my end. I'm gonna backtrack all the stuff I did this round and just restart the rounds. Everyone, go ahead and take back your because I did a major fuck up right there. Yeah, we're gonna remove these to all of you.
So I get a Benny back?
No, that's gonna be the drawback. You're not getting injured at all. Top of round 2.
I was still holding mine.
Oh yeah, you can go if you want to, Alice. You'll go twice. You'll go twice essentially.
Okay. Oh God.
Oh, Soren needs to come in.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that draw? What was that draw?
There you go.
Okay. I had like an ace, I think, last.
All right, Alice, you got 2 rounds. You got 2 turns essentially.
Okay. Now I need to figure out how to do this. What's the button to keep it? I forgot.
Just hit the left mouse button. So hold down Control, and then drag from your guy, and just hit down the left mouse button to keep on drawing new.
There we go. Okay. Does that technically work?
I'll allow that. You're moving forward. You're not backtracking.
Okay. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do.
Go for it.
And then what's the button to release?
Let go of Control. Hit spacebar. All right.
Alright.
Target the guys, and then a -2 since that is for blade dancing, and
Yep.
roll.
I'm also forgetting the button to. Is it also Control to
Alt to target.
Alt?
Or
Okay.
double right click on the
Yeah.
tokens.
That too.
Right.
See
Thank
what-
you.
Seeing what everyone's rolling, I'm curious. It's like, is everyone else like level like 3 and I'm level like 1, or like what's the like equivalent here?
You're all the same level. But I built your guy to be more of a battlefield leader and not Hearth Knight. So Hearth Knight will be much stronger in fighting capability.
I see.
So you said -2?
Yes, that's the roll for blade dancing.
Got it. That is a fail. I am.
You got 2
No.
bennies.
Yeah. That was also a total fail. Wow.
Yeah, one more Benny.
Yeah. There we fucking go.
That's a
Hey.
raise. All right, hits both. Go ahead and roll damage. Now I think for
Raise
expediency,
damage?
yes, we're gonna do the single damage roll on both targets, just to make the game fast.
Oh, nice.
All
one of them.
right. Oh, did you do? Okay, I see. I did both. All right. So one doesn't get hurt, but the other one does, and it goes dead.
Nice.
All right. Take your second turn, Atlas.
Sorry?
Take your second turn,
Second turn.
Okay.
because you were on hold. I forgot about that.
I can't do any blade dancing here because there's way too many people in the
Go
way. So
for it. Go for it. I won't stop you.
I'm gonna stop me. I don't want to kill anyone more than they're already down.
Mind.
So I'm just gonna smack this guy. Normal roll?
Do you want a wild attack? It's up to you. Although, see how dangerous things are if I want a wild attack. These things are a bit
Yeah,
beefy.
I think I'm just gonna normal
Alright.
it. And fail it.
Yep, you just hit in the body. Alright. Hey, you want to move? Go for it. If not, pass your turn, Atlas.
I think I'm just gonna vibe here
Alright, pass your turn, please.
with my best buddy.
Alright, before you go, Soren, all of you have witnessed how strong these things are and how hard it is to hurt them. Let's talk about some combat tactics. Now, there's two distinct qualities or stat effects we play on enemies: shaken and vulnerable. When an opponent is shaken, is distracted and vulnerable. When an opponent is distracted, they get minus 2 other rolls. It is harder to hit you if they're distracted. Also, there's vulnerable. If enemy is vulnerable, everyone gets +2 to hit them. That means it's a better chance to get that raise to get an extra d6 damage to hurt these guys. As you witness, these gangs are tough. So an easy way to make an enemy that way is to do a test. A test is a skill check or a combat check against the linked attribute. So if you use athletics, which is linked to agility, you roll athletics, they roll agility. Whoever has a higher roll wins. If you beat it by 4, you get a raise. If you succeed, you can choose either the enemy being distracted or vulnerable. This is a teamwork game now. These things are tough. Work as a team. Some of you need to make these things weaker. Being distracted or being vulnerable is a perfect way to do this. As well as some spells. One attack can give you a better chance of actually enduring these things because of the fact that it gives you +2 damage, but also makes you more vulnerable yourself. So, how do you want to play this combat out? Soren, it's your turn. You're actually not dead, so let me get rid of that.
And because of the retcon, this guy no longer wild attacked and is not vulnerable, right?
No, I'll leave it up. He wild attacked.
Um,
That's my screw up, so I'll leave
well,
it.
So, I mean, I can't cast Confusion, because of my concentrating effects, and I'd have to roll an exploding dice to cast concentration, to cast it right now, which I don't want to risk. I'm gonna move here,
All right.
and then I'm going to take. I do have +2 to hit him. I mean, short sword, double attack, reckless, wild, maybe.
Wild attack will give you +2, and the fact that you have 2 allies also gives +2. So if you wild attack, it's +4 to the roll, which is a good way to get a raise, get the extra d6 damage.
And then this one's also
Vulnerable.
he's the one that vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it's +6.
Yeah.
Okay, let me post that. So what do I
So
add in for
click
my-
wild attack,
Okay.
and then
Wild
it
attack?
should account for the
Do I do 2 actions?
no, unless you're attacking twice.
I am attacking twice.
Okay, then click on 2 actions, and click on roll.
And does this take into account the 2 allies?
It should. If not, I can just see how it is.
Okay.
I know it's parry is. Alright, so it didn't count for your ally. So it's actually going to be an 8, which is a hit, not a raise, though. Which is actually what I already have right here. So go ahead and roll the attack damage, but no unfortunate raise damage. So just the 2d6 little damage symbol you see. Alright, so you just beat its toughness. So we go from shaken to wounds. You shook it. Now, if it becomes shaken again, it actually takes a wound. So it's a track you have to go through. There's no HP in this game. So go ahead and redo the attack, since you do 2 attacks.
Okay.
Easy way to do it, easier it says rolls. Click on the little refresh symbol under rolls. Just roll again.
Uh,
It's right above where the dice symbols are on the card in combat.
that? Oh,
Yep, that's a bad roll. You can use a Benny if you have. You don't. Okay, so yeah,
I
unfortunately it's a
don't.
miss. So second attack is unfortunately a miss. Would you want to move? Now, luckily it's shaken. It can't get attack of opportunity when it's shaken, so it can just let you retreat now if you want.
You guys probably are better at getting your ship rocked, so probably. So I'm gonna move here.
All right. Then we'll go to Donsta. It is on you.
Hopefully, I'll be stronger once we rework my character.
Paul, I wanted to ask about this because I was thinking about possibly doing this. I don't know if you are going to allow me to do it, but I was wanting to see if I could use elemental manipulation, not to damage him, one of the elementals, but to see if I could like keep him in its place where I could like stop him from acting.
So this would actually be a test. The elementalism against its ability is exactly a test.
Okay. Is there any negatives or anything that I account for?
Nope. And I'm gonna roll. I believe it's spirit against your thing.
Okay.
So roll elementalism. I'm gonna roll spirit.
Oh, that's BS.
Well, maybe I'll roll.
Oh, I rolled it the wrong way. Sorry.
Yeah. Click on the reroll in the card. But as is, I rolled a 3. Okay. So, do you want to make it shaken or vulnerable? Do you want to make it distracted or vulnerable, as well as not being able to move?
Well,
Well,
I'm trying
this
to think.
one,
Okay,
this one
vulnerable
down
is
here.
what?
So he's already vulnerable. So I would make him just distracted.
Yeah, this one down here is already shaken.
Yeah.
So you take 1 damage if you shake him again, right?
Oh, this doesn't shake him though. This is just for status effect.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
I thought Soren shook him.
yeah, it is shaken.
So if I shake him again, he would take a damage, right?
If you get a raise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll make this one vulnerable. This guy here.
Okay, I see. We're trying the other one. All right, we'll do that. Okay. All right. Do you want to move, or are you good?
I'm trying to think if I'll take an opportunity attack if I move.
You won't. If you're shaking, they won't take opportunity attack. You're gonna think about it. As I want to speed
Oh.
this up. So, Haldir, go.
Okay.
Same thing. Just try and get this spell off and then attack.
But you know, you do negate their gang up bonuses, the flanking bonuses, by moving away. So Brewsome did have +2 against this guy. Now he has no penalty. Now he has no bonus anymore.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've kind of just been sat here silently questioning you guys moving away.
And then, so
Curses. It's okay, it's okay. I'll just roll a 43 again.
yeah,
You're a dwarf. You can take 40 damage.
I am a dwarf, and I'll also just roll 43 again. You'd love that, wouldn't you, Hursk?
Mm-hmm. All right, Haldir. What you got going on? It's a hit, not a raise.
okay, and I get +2 to my damage.
Yes.
'cause I'm gonna Benny that.
Oh.
So
That
it'd
is
be
a shaken,
15.
but it's already shaken, which means it dies.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
Brewsome.
So these things are essentially glass cannons that you have to beat their vitality.
So
No.
to beat any enemy, you have to beat their vitality or their vigor. Now you have 3 wounds being heroes. These are known as extras. They're the typical enemies. They have only 0 wounds. If they take a wound, they die. Only special
Oh.
NPCs, wildcards, have 3 wounds. These things hit like a brick, but they're also tough. But they can only take essentially 1 wound before they die.
Yeah,
these
one
guys
hit.
actually- I was like, these guys actually have a really high like damage.
Yeah, I
well,
noticed that.
Well, I mean, we have to damage them high, like higher than what we've actually.
Yeah,
come
I
across
have to
for the most
roll.
part.
I have to roll max just to shake them, without exploding dice.
Yeah, this is where the tactics become vulnerable, of distracted, the gang up bonuses. There's a lot of bonuses to get yourself to actually hurt these things. We have to use here, which you've been doing a little bit. Brewsome, what are you doing?
I would like to cast a spell and then attack.
Go for it. What spell? 2 actions.
My boost lower trait, obviously on fighting, will be 2 actions. It shouldn't have any modifiers, right?
All spells have modifiers. The base modifier, but okay, click on roll. It's already included. Alright, success. And I'll put that on your character. So it is fighting.
Yep,
There you go.
fantastic. And then I shall target this fellow chap. And with the ancient dwarven great axe. I was rolling now.
That is a hit. Roll.
Roll damage.
Actually, you roll damage. You need to roll the hit.
Yeah, he rolled 1 wound.
Yeah, you rolled the wrong thing. Roll the hit now. If you hit, yeah, you did that much damage. Alright, so you did 1 wound, which is shaken. Well, not 1, it's Oh no, yeah,
He's
it
got
is.
He's an armor piercing.
No, it does go. These things don't. These things were bonked when they imported it here. They have wildcard stats when they shouldn't. So this does kill it. So yeah, that does kill these 3 elementals.
Huh. I survived, almost taking 9 wounds.
Yeah, that was my complete
Or
fuck up
8
on that one. I forgot about your freaking defenses. Even though I made the image of it to actually know, and I still flubbed it.
What does reflect even do?
It makes them -2 to hit you, or -4 if it was a raise.
Oh. Let me just see if that would have made it miss.
Possibly
It
not.
isn't, I guess.
As it is, that does end comment for this section. But that does give you an idea of how deadly this game can be. Is there's no HP in the system, so you go through a wound track, and normal characters have no wound track, so they get hit and they get through their toughness, they just go down, they die. And as you saw, because the dice exploded on your getting hit, it could have dropped you legitimately that round. You would have actually died. You probably would have died that attack if it was done correctly.
That was 6 wounds total.
Yeah.
After my absorption.
All right.
I do have +1 vitality. I don't know what vitality. That doesn't determine how many wounds I can take though. So.
It increases your toughness. As is though, I think I'm going to wrap up the game here, and we'll go ahead and continue this little exploration next session.
Alrighty.
Excellent. Somebody's
And is this an advancement? This is an advancement, right?
No, next session. You got it last week.
Accidentally messed up.
Okay.
Misclicked.
You'll be seasoned next week. You'll be your first actual legitimate increase next session and the next session.
Okay, so they went through.
Awesome.
So this is more of a slow pacing session. They went through 7 sessions and haven't gotten increase yet, or like
Oh no,
stat
they had
increase?
3 of them already.